Beep. What?
I said that will never not be funny.
Anyway, we're live!
All right.
Not that
I
they'll
just
see
got.
any of this.
No, they won't.
We'll probably be stuck in
Because
ad
we're
hell.
in an ad break.
I mean, if they watch after, they will.
Yeah.
Boop.
So I can monitor chat.
There we go.
All right, perfect.
Don't talk, because it doesn't like you when you talk during the opening.
Okay, are we good?
Oh, good.
Okay, I had to ask why in chat because, well, like you said, it doesn't like me.
Yeah, for some reason, whenever it's the intro, it doesn't like you. At least for SSL. You become robot. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm streaming it on Discord for you to see.
Maybe.
Because it also does that with Hi-Fi Rush and Hades. Hi-Fi Rush is like every single stage. Hades is only when it's a boss battle.
Up against those regular mobs, that's fine.
Fine, but a boss battle? No, you guys shut up. Hey, welcome.
Welcome back, everybody.
We're on chapter 4, aren't we?
Yeah, we're at Christmas.
Oh god, we're at Christmas. Let's go. Christmas time. Load. Thank you. Ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Alright. With the cool autumn having passed, even the midday wind started growing cold enough to chill the bones. Patches of frost started to linger in the shade, and our breath formed white clouds outside. Winter had begun. The calendar already read December. I didn't dislike school, but one Monday morning I couldn't help but feel a bit gloomy. Heisuke had left for early morning club activities along with Okita, Saito, and the others, so I found myself walking to school alone.
We
They
got
got mail!
immediately.
Who's it from? Oh. Hi, I'm a goodie.
I offer my deepest apologies for the inconveniences of Kazuma's behavior. It seems that Kazuma is taking such a liking to you that he's disregarded the stares of those around him and acted in an unreasonable manner. However, that is how things always are, so don't worry about it.
I'm a giddy what?
I'll keep that in mind.
Nope.
Damn it! Did so good last night.
There
It'd
you
be
go.
a hindrance for your safety in school and could certainly become a problem. Please do keep that in mind.
We're only 5 minutes in and we already got something wrong. I really did feel sleepier on Mondays. As I held back a yawn while going through the school gates and yawning, a cheerful voice greeted me, one energetic enough to chase away all my lingering drowsiness.
Good morning, Yukimura. Lovely morning this morning, isn't it?
Lovely morning this morning. Ohayo, Kondo-sensei. You seem to be grinning more than usual today. Did something special happen?
Hmm? Oh, of course. You're first year, so you don't know yet. It'll be explained at the school assembly later. But, actually, come Christmas, I'd come to up as Santa and give presents to students here at school every year.
Now that you mention it, it is nearly Christmas, isn't it? But do you do it all by yourself, Kondo-sensei?
Oh, of course. I can't just hand out such an important job over to someone else, you know? Seeing the students' excited faces as I hand out the presents, I just can't help but look forward to Christmas every year.
He struggled to contain his beam of excitement. I couldn't help but grin and let out a small giggle myself. Honestly, with a man like this as its principal, I was really glad that I enrolled in Hakuoki Academy. Well then, I will also be looking forward to this year's Christmas event.
Great. Well, I decided sports this year too, so I hope that you do. Hey, Kondo. Oh, Yukimura's here too.
Ohayo, Hijikata-sensei. Hijikata-sensei had suddenly approached the two of us at the gate. Kondo-sensei noticed his unusually weary expression, and his eyes narrowed in confusion.
Oshi, what happened? Your face is really pale. Did some bad news come in this morning? Well, bad news, huh? You could certainly call it bad news. Long story short, Christmas is canceled. Dun dun dun!
I still want someone to draw Kondo as Santa.
I have some upsetting news for everyone today.
Attending morning assembly in the schoolyard was hard for students during this time of year. The freezing winds ripped through the campus. Even just standing outside was torture in winter. All the students were lined up according to which class we were in, our shoulders hunched in the cold as we listened to our principal's announcements. But he looked worse off than all of us, his face paler, his shoulders more slumped, as he addressed us from the dais.
Now, we have a last-minute announcement from the PTA chairman, Serizawa-san. This year, Serizawa-san has kindly decided to host a Christmas party for school staff and a few selected students. As a matter of fact, this party will be hosted in place of our usual Christmas event.
Surely by usual Christmas event, he meant the gift-giving one he was just telling me about so enthusiastically. Kondo-sensei shook his head a little as he spoke, his broad frame sagging miserably.
Invitations will be delivered to those who were chosen. Students who accept it will have until the day of the party to prepare presents. Those presents will be for a gift exchange at the party.
Hey, Toto, did Serizawa-san host a party like this last year too?
At least, not last year, no. Kondo-sensei seems surprised too. Must be a first for this year.
Kaoru and Heisuke's classes happened to be lined up near mine, close enough for me to overhear their conversation, which left me puzzled. It seems that the older students were just as surprised at this unforeseen development. Students murmured to their neighbors here and there. In the midst of all this,
Ibuki.
Ibuki's face had already gone pale, and it was getting whiter by the second. Ibuki-kun, are you okay? If you're not feeling well, I could call Sana-sensei over. No, that's okay, but that guy hosting a party with a bunch of hand-picked students. Oh my god!
It is I.
It is a wild Isaac.
Yeah, it's a wild Isaac.
Midget, a few words.
Eh?
They got the reference wrong in the trailer. It's not time is a funny thing. It's destiny is a funny thing. They got it wrong.
Now I'm glad I didn't watch it.
and Sokka is white, by the way, which is the one weird thing.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
definitely going to give my thumbs down on that video now.
Everyone
Okay.
else is like, it's like everyone else has, you know, the right nationality, but Sokka, which is weird.
How the hell does that happen?
I don't know, but they did. They are.
By
using
the way,
original
chat, we're talking about the Avatar live action thing.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
They're
And,
using the original soundtrack though.
That's surprising.
well, la-dee-da.
I thought they make their own shit up.
Oh yeah, and that comic Azula in the Spirit Temple came out, which everyone was talking about how it was going to be an Azula redemption story. No, it wasn't. They tricked us.
Good.
Knew it. I fucking knew it.
She says at some point in the comic that I
I'm
want
sorry
everyone
about the derailment. This is kind of important news.
To
the
them.
last thing the last thing she wants is that the thing she wants the most is for everyone to forgive her, but then she just changes her mind. It's weird.
Yeah, sorry about the derailment, chat. This is kind of important news.
You good?
I don't think he is. I don't blame him any.
Oh boy.
You sounded like Ibuki here, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait.
We are live right now, so feel free to drop in.
Can I continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was in the
I mean,
middle of Ibuki's line.
Speaking of whom?
That guy hosting
Yeah.
a party with a bunch of handpicked students.
I think he's white.
Nah.
Anyways.
What's with that? What's he scheming? I'll say this much. He's definitely not doing it out of the goodness of his heart.
No, I'm sure you all have your questions, but regardless, this is how it's going to be. Students and teachers alike who are invited should treat it as if it was a compulsory event. That is all. Dismissed.
Whoosh. With that, the morning assembly that has shocked the whole student body came to an end. On Hijikata-sensei's cue, we students dispersed, hurrying back into the school building. What was first period again?
Out of this class.
As I changed into my indoor shoes and started walking to my class, I felt a tap on my shoulder.
Yukimura.
Oh, Hijikata-sensei. Do you need something?
Hi. Well, not exactly. You heard about the thing before, right?
Kondo-sensei was looking forward to it so much, too. It's really too bad.
I'm actually a bit worried about that. I want to try and turn it into something Kondo-sensei might be able to appreciate.
Really?
Yes.
Hijikata-sensei gave me a small nod in response, his expression determined.
And about that, I'm only assuming at this stage, but if, say, you were to receive an invitation, what would you do?
I would.
I don't know.
The answer is go to the party.
Ah,
After thinking on it for a moment, I gave a small nod. I'm not confident that I'm an outstanding student or anything, so I'm not so sure that I'll be invited, but if I were and... Oh, what? Okay.
sorry about that, chat.
I mean, if you were as disturbed when you suddenly hear, like, the disconnect, you're like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah. Anyways.
If I were, and he went through the trouble of doing so, I think it would be rude not to accept. I'd likely be putting the teachers in a difficult position, too, if I refused the invitation.
You really do have a talent for overthinking things. You don't need to worry about us too, you know.
Hijikata, I am everything... I am always overthinking things.
And that's not in character, that's actually her IRL.
Hijikata-sensei watched me intently, his expression both amused and exasperated.
You're an outstanding student, you know. There's no doubt you'll be getting an invitation. Your grades aren't bad, and you listen to your teachers properly. Not to mention that you always strive to improve yourself. But in that's the case, then it seems that this little plan backfired on me.
Hijikata-sensei said that with a deep sigh. He fixed his gaze back on me, a miserable look in his eyes. Whoosh. This party of Serizawa-san's had sprung up out of nowhere. It quickly became the talk of the school.
And it cuts to this music.
I know. Then, during lunch break, I climbed up to the rooftop to meet up with Heisuke and Okita for lunch.
And I'm glad I got food. She's here! She's here! Chizuru! Over here! It is quite warm with the sun out today.
You're eating with us today then, Saito-san? He didn't normally sit with us for lunch. I greeted him with a nod and a smile. But where is Okita?
Soji? Oh, he's been in kind of a bad mood since this morning and he ran off somewhere else for lunch, you see. So I thought we could eat with Hajime instead today.
A bad mood?
Yeah.
That struck me as a little odd as I sat down next to Saito. I opened up my bento. As I did, Heisuke sunk his teeth into some bread and spoke up again.
No. Oh, bigger shock, though, huh? Holding a Christmas party all of a sudden? The announcement itself was very sudden as well. Even the teachers seemed surprised by it.
Serizawa-san, though, he's the one who came to see the cultural festival, right? Not only was he the Hakuoki Academy Board chairman, but also the PTA chairman and Ibuki's foster father.
We have to rescue the boy.
From my first impression of him and from how timid Ibuki was around him, he seemed to be very strict with his discipline, but the long, loud sigh that Heisuke let out hinted that he might hold the same opinion.
Serizawa-san's party, huh? Even if I somehow did get an invite, I have a bad feeling about it all. That is a shrewd stance to have, Heisuke.
I love how you bite into the bread.
It's mashed potatoes, but hey.
Will Haskell was eating bread, so.
But it was with Serizawa-san's assistance that Hakuo Academy was founded. You mustn't assume the worst of him now either. I mean, Hijikata-sensei doesn't like Serizawa-san either, right? Don't, Yukimura. This doesn't concern you.
Now that he mentioned it, Hijikata-sensei had seemed fairly tense the last time the two met.
It's true that they do seem to quarrel at every given opportunity, but...
Saito, crossing his arms and pondering that thought, looked up at me.
Yukimura, what do you know of this party?
From where I stood, Serizawa-san's Christmas party was...
something to look forward to.
Something I looked forward to. I think I'm looking forward to it, really. I mean, who knows how it'll turn out in the end, but any party where lots of people are around seems like it will be fun to me. Heisuke didn't like that. Heisuke's expression darkened into a frown when he heard my response. But Saito gave a small nod.
I think so too. Whatever sort of party Serizawa-san plans, and no matter what one may think of them, I think that he could host an enjoyable party, provided everyone drinks water.
That! God damn it.
There it is. I saw it on the stream.
Yeah. I drank my water. I agree, though I do have my worries. I feel more excited than I do worried, as of now. Heisuke silently brought his bread to his lips, making a face like he wanted to say something. Just what kind of event would Serizawa-san's party turn out to be? The day's classes had finished, and there were only a few more school days left in the term.
Well then, let's wrap it up here for today. Take care of yourselves on the way home.
As the bell rang to dismiss us, the students abruptly stirred up a commotion all at once. Getting ready for the club activities, opening up their phones to text, making plans for the way home with their friends. I took my time putting my things away as I watched my classmates out of the corner of my eye. What should I do today? Maybe I'll just go straight home for today. Or maybe I should stop by the station and buy some groceries for dinner.
Oh, wait up a moment, Yukimura.
Hi? I stopped and turned back into the classroom upon hearing Harada-sensei call out to me.
I have something for you. Here.
The single card Harada-sensei handed me was bordered in gold foil, because of course it is.
She got the golden ticket.
Is this by any chance?
Yeah, I'm sure you guessed it already, but it's an invitation to Serizawa-san's party. I do have my 2 cents, but it's in your hands now. Be sure to read it over properly when you get home.
Serizawa-san's party, huh? I muttered to myself as I left the class, looking the invitation over. Now that I think of it, I wonder who else was invited. I felt better if other people I knew were going. I wonder if I should try asking around. Oh boy.
The current boy.
With that in mind, I found myself heading for the courtyard. Oh, it's this scene. There were people getting ready for club activities or waiting to walk home with their friends. It was more crowded than usual, so soon after class dismissal, there has to be someone I know around here. I looked around, hoping to catch sight of someone I recognized.
Like I said, there's no way she's gonna spend Christmas with you.
The bellow came from nearby.
I wondered what you had to say, but to think it was something so foolish.
I can't. The music every time.
No matter what insignificant scum like you say, it has been settled. I will be spending Christmas with my bride. You sure do talk for someone who hasn't even asked her yet. And normally, even if you were spending Christmas with somebody, it'd be with me and not you. We've known each other for ages. Sorry to disappoint you, best boy. I mean, that's how it always was when we were little. It is unsightly to cling to the past, so Heisuke Todo.
I overheard Heisuke and Kazuma arguing. Maybe it would have been best for me to stay out of it. If I were to show up right when they were arguing about me, I was positive it would only make things worse. Thinking that, I slowly backed away.
If you dare say such things, then so be it. I'll force you to face reality. Alright, all will be made clear if we ask the woman herself. Isn't that so, my petit chauffeur?
Huh? Kazuma's gaze pierced through me, stopping me in my tracks. Heisuke's eyes also went wide when he noticed me.
Chizuru? Wait, did you just hear all of that just now?
Kinda?
If you were listening, then there is less to explain. I shall ask now, then. Between myself, your future spouse, and this self-proclaimed childhood friend of yours, who would you rather spend Christmas with? Me, surely. You don't even need to answer. I know. Answer properly!
Puffed up in anger, Heisuke suddenly grabbed my shoulder.
Hear me out, Chizuru. Spending Christmas with this guy would seriously absolutely be the dangerous danger of all dangers out there.
Calm down, your words are getting all mixed up.
I'm not getting my words mixed up, you are!
Also, even if you asked me about Christmas, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, since I just got an invitation to Serizawa-san's party.
What? Serizawa-san's party, huh? They said that only exceptional students are invited, so... If you were invited, then I...
After casually considering this for a moment, he suddenly turned from us and left. Huh?
What is with him?
Normally, he would snap and bicker for longer than that. I found this sudden change to be puzzling as I watched him walk off. Heisuke seemed to feel the same as I did. He cocked his head a little in bewilderment.
Well, whatever. More importantly, Chizuru.
Then, just as Heisuke was about to say something...
Oh, Heisuke, Yukimura. Perfect timing.
Harada-sensei suddenly strolled up to us.
If you're on your way home, then never mind. But would the two of you mind coming along with me? There's something I need a hand with.
Aye.
You were worried about Kazuma.
Yep. Worried about Kazuma. Kazuma just now. There was definitely something weird going on for him to give up so easily. The more I thought about it, the more it bothered me. After thinking about it a bit, I bowed my head. I'm sorry, Harada-sensei. Actually, I have something to take care of.
Is that so? It can't be helped then. Maybe I'll get Hesuke to help. Me? Well, it requires a bit of strength, so you're perfect. Come on, what are you spacing out for? Follow me. Wait a minute.
Harada-sensei dragged Heisuke away with him. I was a bit worried about whether he'd be okay, but I watched them go before turning back around. Across the way was the student council room. That was what I thought, but... When I entered, the first person I saw was the brat!
And made her eyes pop open in surprise.
Yep. Kaoru? Why are you in the student council room? That's my line. Have you never heard the expression, like a moth to a flame? Why are you here in Kazuma's lair, of all places?
There's no why about it. It's obvious. My betrothed is here to see me, of course. No, I think we ought to not put words into her mouth.
Thank you, Amagiri.
I'm with Nagamo. You some kind of idiot traipsing in here?
Kazuma gracefully stood up from where he was sitting on the sofa with Amagiri and Shiranui. Kaoru, who was standing close by with a document in hand, was forced back a few steps.
Now then, Nagamo. As the student council president, I have reviewed your reports from the disciplinary committee and granted approval of your activities. Now that being the case, we are finished here. You may leave. Now.
Sorry, but another matter that needs addressing has just popped up. Chizuru, I'm asking you one more time. Why are you here? All eyes in the room turned to me. I didn't know what else I could do, so I decided to be honest and say what I was thinking.
Yeah, that was the noise. Everyone's just like, huh?
I was just wondering how Kazuma was feeling, so I followed him here too.
Is that so? You take that much interest in my well-being, do you?
Wouldn't it be more accurate to say that she was suspicious of you?
Shut it, brat. Well, it's just the same old story here. Shiranui, whose side are you on?
Pandemonium ensued.
And that is the key to get the fuck out.
Kazuma and Kaoru together made for an explosive mix, and Shiranui liked adding fuel to the fire because this man just loves chaos.
I got a tub of gasoline here.
Oh god. As I worried about what to do, Amagiri pulled up a chair for me.
Please take a seat, Yukimura.
Thank you very much, Amagiri.
May I ask, also interest you in some tea? For green, we have Gyokuro, and for black, a lovely Assam.
I have zero clue what that means.
Assam?
Yeah. I'll have the black tea, please.
Black tea it is. Would you like some milk in it? Huh, I've already said it. But if you're finished with your business here, then leave. You are merely interfering with my bride and mine's time together. Being cooped up in your disciplinary committee's gloomy science lab suits you far better. You're the one who picked the lab out for them, though, Kazuma. You just wanted to harass Hijikata since he's their advisor.
Oh my god. I don't care if you pick fights with Hijikata-sensei. But you're always causing us trouble. Learn to keep your private and public affairs separate. Kaoru snapped at Kazuma, who scoffed in reply. Amagiri and I watched them bicker from the sidelines while we drank our tea.
I'd like to see an animation of this. This is
Yes! Yes! Also, just in the background, Chizuru and Amagiri drinking tea while they go back and forth in chibi style.
Yes!
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 Oh, now I want to do a mock-up of that. Somebody fucking remind me later.
Okay.
Shiranui tossed in the odd inflammatory remark.
Of course he does.
Eventually, I finished my tea.
No more tea.
Although, amazingly, the fighting continued. Amagiri silently got to his feet.
Kazuma and Nagamo, have you not lost the sight of the point? In the beginning, question was why the young lady came here, if I recall correctly.
Amagiri moved to mediate between the two of them and looked back at me.
Yukimura, I should like to ask you once more. Why was it that you came here?
That was...
Because I was worried about him.
Yep.
And this is route, so that makes sense.
My wording a minute ago was too unclear, which caused this argument between Kaoru and Kazuma. I needed to explain myself properly. Kazuma wasn't acting like himself, so I wondered if he was feeling unwell or something. I followed after him with that weighing on my mind.
That you are so concerned about my physical condition signifies how much you look forward to what's to come. That this and that do not follow.
Thank you, Amagiri.
I did not ask for your opinion, Amagiri. Soon enough, the Christmas party at the Sarazawa residence will take place. On top of being student council president and on the honor roll, I am also handsome, so my attendance is required, naturally. Do you realize what this means? Well, I don't think being handsome has anything to do with it, though.
If by some chance you were invited, you mean to say you'll be attending with my sister? Is that it?
But of course. Although it is unsatisfactory that we cannot spend time together alone at the party. But it has been decided that my bride and I will spend Christmas together. Christmas is not only a day for dalliances between men and women, but it is also said to be a day for lovers. In addition to attending the party together, my bride even finds herself concerned for my health.
By that logic, wouldn't everyone attending the party be viewed as lovers?
Need not be counted. No one else there is bound by the string of red fate as we are. It is for couples that like us for whom Christmas has that meaning.
And who gets to decide who's bound by that so-called red string?
Not you, brat, but myself, of course.
Dumbfounded. If you looked up that word in the dictionary, you'd see the face Kaoru was making right now. He suddenly turned to me and squeezed out the words, "Let's go, Chizuru. Talking with him is a waste of time." Hang on, Kaoru!
I'm looking forward to the day of the party, my bride.
Whoosh? Amagiri and Shiranui shot me sympathetic looks as I was dragged bodily out the door by Kaoru. It couldn't be helped, I decided, so I changed shoes and followed him out to head home. That trio's climbing to the top of my dead note.
I think you mean Death Note.
As for the order, should I put them above Okita? No, but then Todo's also. God damn it, Kaoru!
You leave him alone.
Watching Kaoru grumbled and muttered to himself irritably, I recalled something from earlier. Kazuma made it sound like his goal in the first place was for us to attend the party together, but that was... What? That was really just it, wasn't it? Does that make sense?
I guess.
Kazuma would be completely satisfied just by spending Christmas together with me, but the thought left me with a sense of unease. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it. A feeling of suspicion I couldn't shake off stuck with me as I walked home in the dusky evening. Up. We know what time it is.
Yeah.
One day at a time, the calendar's pages turned, and soon enough, the end of the year was close. It was the night before the last big event before we would welcome in the new year, the Christmas party. As I lazed about in my bed, I looked over at the present I had prepared for the next day. I wonder if whoever gets this would like it. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, but I guess I'm still a bit worried too. Who in the world would get my present? I wondered whether the party at Serizawa-san's would really go off without a hitch. I rolled about on my bed, torn between excitement and worry. Suddenly, my phone beeped with an email notification. From Ibuki. Help me.
Hell no.
It read like someone's dying message. For a moment, I could only sit there speechless. Ibuki, what's wrong? I really want to yawn. Should I call the police or an ambulance if I didn't get a reply? I found my finger hovering over the emergency contact out of reflex as I waited tensely for Ibuki's reply. But before long, he sent me another email. The truth is, I was left in charge of getting the venue prepped and decorated for tomorrow's party, but the storehouse is in such a state I can't even begin to search for the decorations. We're clearly short on helping hands. Even though it was just a text, I could somehow hear the fatigue in his voice. It was the sound of someone who'd been driven into a corner. Since it's that bad... Want me to come help you out? I could come early tomorrow morning. We should have plenty of time to prepare for the party then. I only hesitated for a second. I typed up my reply quickly and hit send. Really? If you really mean it, then yes, please! After we'd finished our back and forth, I sighed deeply. If I'm going to help him out early tomorrow, I better get to sleep early too. But even if I'm there, I'm not sure it'll be enough. Will I really be much help with so much decorating left to do? It might be best to have at least another pair of helping hands. Looking through my phone's address book, I started to feel sleepy. Eventually, I gave into it and flopped back into my bed. I really hope tomorrow's party would go smoothly. Would he actually help is my question.
That is a good question.
Oh,
Maybe I'll just get Magiri and Kazuma. Magiri and Shiranui to do it.
Maybe, I don't know. We're gonna see. At last.
Something that Shiranui would say about him trying to be like, oh, go pick up those boxes over there. As if.
At last, December 25th had arrived. The whole world was abuzz over Christmas Day. I woke up very early and spent some time thinking about stuff while dozing off in bed. I was too tired last night and accidentally fell asleep in the end. I don't see another way around it. We're going to need someone besides me to help. I was thinking about the promise I made to Ibuki to help with the party preparations. If I understood his message from last night, it sounded like he was in a tough spot. Even if I were to lend a hand, I might not be that much help on my own. So if anyone would lend a hand... I'd be happy, but... You got closer.
No.
I shook my head and dust to disperse the image of the person that came to mind. Kazuma might have helped if I reached out to him, but he'd probably complain about it the whole time. But... I was more scared about what would happen afterwards. As I was fretting over what to do, my cell phone started ringing in my hand, almost like he'd just caught me worrying about it. Hello?
It's me.
Kazuma?
Oh, I don't remember giving my name. Were you already thinking of me?
God fucking damn it! It was true, so I couldn't deny it. Do you need something? Don't tell me you're going to say cancel the party and come with me or something.
Oh, there's no reason for me to act in such a boorish manner. However, while I have no intention of doing anything that uncalled for at the party itself, any time aside from that is a different matter entirely. Are you free until the party starts? There's no reason we cannot spend that time alone.
No, I'm not free. I have to go help with the decorations. I explained the details of my situation. And then Kazuma answered in a voice oozing with barely concealed anger. What?
What? If they are having guests out, then they are clearly not in the mindset for a host. Very well. I will go speak with them directly then.
Kazuma, what? No.
Kazuma, yes.
Please wait! No, because that means something might happen to Ibuki.
I don't care about him. I only care about you, my petit chauffeur.
Ah! I told them that I wanted to help. You don't need to do something that would disturb them.
What are you misunderstanding here? When I said that I would speak to them directly, I meant that I would also come to help.
Those two things are not the same!
Yes, they are. You just merely don't realize it yet.
Oh, God. What?
I should see how they're going about this, given my masterful sense for these sorts of things.
Kazuma must have interpreted my stunned silence as assent, because he hung up after just a few more words.
Boop.
He announced that he'd be picking me up and that I would wait for him. Oh, great.
Oh, no.
Afterwards,
The very next day.
No. The very next day is the 26th. The fuck you on about?
Oh, well then, yeah.
I met up with Kazuma and the two of us headed off to Serizawa-san's house. Naturally, when Ibuki came to greet me, he was incredibly bewildered, but in the end, I was mostly able to get across to him that Kazuma was here to help. Somehow.
Some way.
I don't really get how this happened, but you're here to help, right? Let's take a look at Kazuma's outfit, shall we?
What? He just loves that white jacket, huh?
To be fair, I like the shirt.
Yeah.
And the scarf goes with it.
Yeah.
Actually, is this the outfit that basically convinced him to do the rework in the remakes for his Western outfit.
Maybe?
Because as we saw in the anime and the films, it was purple. But in the remakes, his Western uniform is white with a red floral pattern.
Well then.
And I think this was released before the remake, so I don't know. They were released the same year, though. So I don't know what was first. Anyway.
You're not very perceptive, are you? I have said as such already.
Well then, please find the stuff on this list in the backyard storehouse and bring it out. It's time to save.
Yeah, it's a good time to save, indeed.
Save.
Very well. It is a rare thing for me to perform chores such as these. Feel free to grovel in order to express your gratitude.
So my job is... We need to help Kazuma-senpai and stop him if he gets too out of control. I'll do my best. As we pried open the rust-covered door, the dimly lit interior of the storehouse came into view. Katanas, hanging scrolls, paintings. As we carefully stepped amidst the various items scattered across the floor, Kazuma made a loud proclamation.
You may just stand there and observe magnificence. I will take care of tidying up here.
There's no way I can do that. I'll help too. Together with Kazuma, who was so needlessly intense that he'd look ready to kill, I stepped into the storehouse.
Would you like an explanation?
No! Actually, that's the button to... Would you like to skip this mini game?
Oh. Snowflake, I see it.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
In the box.
And the box is right above it.
And, yep. And on the Christmas tree. Yep.
Angel!
Yep. The yeah. And then
it's
top shelf. To
no,
the left.
No, that's how we need blue scarf.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Is it hiding? Is it this one?
I think so.
Kazuma, go away.
No.
There we go.
Hey.
Woo!
Yay.
Yay! I think the extension cord should be in this box. Kazuma, it looks like we'll just about make it in time at this pace, if barely. It had been a few hours since we begun working. Even if it wasn't all smooth sailing, we kept bringing out the listed items out of the storehouse one after another. However... For some reason, Kazuma was remaining silent with a dissatisfied look on his face. What's wrong?
Everything.
Kazuma?
I am displeased.
Why? I don't think we're doing so bad on time, though.
That's not the issue. But at this pace, we will make it in time for the party. But like I said, this is not the issue. We will, however, complete the preparations just before it commences. Therefore, what would happen to my plan for us to spend some enjoyable time alone?
I fucking knew it. So that was what he was thinking about.
Of course.
As I opened my mouth in partial exasperation, he suddenly took his cell phone out of his pocket. Is he calling for backup? Oh? What are you doing?
Isn't it not obvious? I'm contacting Amagiri and summoning the Kazuma family maid and butler corps.
What? Hold on. What?
I can do that, you know, because I'm fabulously rich.
As you look at that, Shiranui is nowhere on this list. He knows.
Fuck Shiranui. He's a little shithead. That way, the work will be completed sooner, and we will have more time to spend on our rendezvous. A flawless solution. Amagiri, it's me.
Please wait, Kazuma! If he did that, Serizawa-san would get remarkably angry. If he got mad, the worst case scenario was that the party would be cancelled.
Over my dead body.
Covering Kazuma's strangely expensive-looking phone with my hand, I shook my head with a tearful expression. It's true that we may not have any time after we finish, but aren't we alone together right now? Why did those words come out of my mouth?
I see. This is not how I intended things to be, but it's true that it's certainly just the two of us. What's more, you desperately tried to stop me because you did not want this time alone with your beloved to be disturbed, no?
Oh, Lord. Huh? That's not really what I was talking about.
Shiranui. Cease whatever you're doing and meet me on the double.
You're right. Being alone with you is nice, Kazuma.
Of course.
Kazuma smirked meaningfully as I rushed to stop him, like he'd just heard something that he could use as leverage later. Then he made a show of fiddling with his cell phone and then opened his mouth.
So in other words, Chizuru, you mean to say that being alone with me makes you happy?
Hi.
Today is truly a day to remember. I never thought I'd hear such words coming out of your mouth.
I may have accidentally said one thing too many to try and stop Kazuma from acting recklessly. No more thinking unnecessary thoughts. Turning my eyes away from Kazuma, who looked absolutely delighted, I returned to work. Anyway, after working ourselves to the bone, we were somehow able to finish with the decorations. Then I helped with things like setting the tables and serving the food. Finally, the guests arrived at the venue one after the other. But I felt like there were too many of them, for some reason. It might have just been my imagination, but it was almost like the whole school had come over. Then, once all of the invitees had gathered, we were finally ready to start the party.
Well, the decorations are more elegant than I expected. Yeah, the lighting in the garden is magnificent as well. Never would have guessed that this was all done in someone's home. Granted, even if Serizawa-san's goal was to spite Kondo-sensei, this is still quite the effort.
Among the people who looked at the sparkling decorative lights in amazement were...
Oh, there's a whole turkey right here.
Isn't that champagne over there? I shouldn't have to ask, but there are non-alcoholic drinks for students here, right?
Fool! Don't be a fool!
The champagne, juice, and mountains of food lined up on the tables caught people's eyes as well. When Kondo-sensei arrived last, he looked plenty surprised.
Wow. Don't tell me all of my students were invited. I could take a guess at how this happened, but I expected nothing less from Serizawa-san.
He seemed relieved and re-energized, looking like he was enjoying all this. I let out a sigh of relief. I wondered if this was what Hijikata-sensei meant when he told me not to worry.
Hey, you mutt. What is the meaning of this? I don't recall inviting this many people.
Don't look at me. I had no idea about this.
Bullshit. I see. This was Ijikata's doing.
We got more important things to worry about, though, Serizawa-san. It's already time for us to start. Having checked that all the guests had arrived, Ibuki pressed Serizawa-san on the proceedings. That the party was starting!
That the party was starting.
I need to know, what the fuck is that thing in the back?
Where?
That thing in front of the green present on the table.
In front of the green present on the table? What?
Yeah, on the wall. You see there's a thing on the table?
Oh,
The fuck is that?
good question.
It's just a mountain, but what is it?
Maybe it's like a gingerbread mountain instead of a gingerbread house.
Yeah. I know doing this doesn't help, but like...
It doesn't.
It's just a giant pile that's like slightly tilted. I don't know what it is, and it's scaring me.
Oh no. It looks like everyone has gathered here. With this, the Christmas party sponsored by the Serizawa household has begun.
Oh boy. It looked like the ball had gone rolling a bit. Everyone looked at Serizawa-san a little meekly at first, but soon the appetizing food lessened the tension, and after one person made a move towards it, probably Nagakura, the floodgates opened and everyone moved about freely. Before I knew it, the venue looked like a buffet party. Serizawa-san didn't say anything either, maybe since he wanted it to be a free and easy gathering. Laughter echoed from everywhere within the grounds, and groups of people who you wouldn't normally see together were exchanging words. With everything that was going on, I decided to...
I don't know.
refill people's drinks.
Hey.
Conversations were blossoming like flowers, and I didn't want to intrude. Maybe I'd go and take care of the drinks. Thinking that, I took a decanter of juice in hand before taking a look around the place. As soon as I did, I happened to spot Saito-san holding an empty glass. Saito-san, would you like a refill?
Hmm? Oh, yes, Yukimura. I think I would, thanks.
Saito-san answered with few words, keeping a close watch on one part of the room as I poured him his juice. What are you staring at? 'Cause I forgot. I followed his line of sight on instinct, after which a fairly startling spectacle greeted me. Oh no.
Chikage Kazuma. You're the student council president this year. If I recall correctly, you were also the student council president last year. Any reason you're stating the obvious? The president is the most popular of all the students, meaning that it could be none other than myself. Putting that aside, putting aside the matter of popularity, the issue I'm thinking of in this case is something separate. Oh no.
Saito... Is that...
It is. I can't imagine everything would go swimmingly between those two. I'm keeping an eye on their movements from here. You should head somewhere else, seeing as how you don't want to get involved in this.
Right. It was definitely a little frightening to see those two together. I bowed my head to Saito-san, then moved on to somewhere else. Now then, what should I get up to next?
Wrapped it up, I think.
Next. Wrap things up. Sipping from my near-empty glass, I took a breath and glanced at the time. A lot of time had passed since the start of the party. My worry that something might happen seemed to be an unfounded one. A smile escaped me as I watched everyone have fun. I looked around the room and let out a sigh of relief as the party carried on. With food settling nicely in everyone's stomachs, people started taking out the presents they got for the gift exchange one by one. Ones that could fit in the palm of your hand, others that you basically have to hug to carry, ones that gave metallic clanks, others that looked soft, ones that were left in the garden and didn't even make it inside the room in the first place. How?
Kazuma?
That fuck. But would he?
Yes.
Ay.
Thinking that possibly it would go to his wife.
Every present had pretty wrapping that you couldn't see through, but none of them looked ordinary or predictable in the least. We shuffled the presents around in circles, and before long we each had one in hand.
Alright, we'll open them on 3. Serizawa-san, if you could take the lead. Why? So you put me on the spot with something out of my comfort zone and laugh at me for it? I'll be having a drink. Decide on a cue amongst yourselves. Guess we got no choice. Right then, Yukimura. You'll lead us.
Me?
That'd be nice. You helped prepare the place. Should follow that you be the one to do the honors. It's only a shout you have to do. There's no need to overthink it. Have you met us?
I understand.
Oh, Santa, I'm thanking you here. You know which present I got my eye on.
I'm okay with it being from anybody. Just let it be food, please. Or even a Subway gift card. Alright then. 1, 2, 3.
Dude, I didn't get it. I want a year's worth of paid leave so bad, though. You thought that'd be one of the presents here? And even if it was, what'd you think a student would do with it? If we were on paid break, would we be able to advance a year without going to classes? Wouldn't that be just convenient? Well, even if that were a thing, it'd just be a fancy way to skip school. Such a present isn't here in the first place, though even hoping for it would be foolish.
Oops.
What did...
How did, what is the button for it? No! Fuck! There we go.
There we go.
I found the button.
Incidentally, where's the year's worth of wife that was supposed to go to me?
Oh my god, it goes off.
But I know what it is.
Hold on, I can...
As if that be more likely than a year of paid leave. And what do you even mean by a year's worth? I can't comprehend it. Well, if I ever get such a thing, I'd make sure I enjoy every minute of that year. Okita, what in the world would you do with a year of paid leave? With that, I mean, we might have a problem depending on your answer.
Yep. God, is there any helping the number of idiots here? Talk about a year's worth all you like. Don't you know a little sister belongs to her older brother? First of all, I'd like it if you didn't decide things on your own while ignoring what I want. And I will point it out every time. Look at Saito!
What?
Every time, I will point it out every time. Look at Saito. It's just,
Yeah.
It's too cute. Ah!
Yeah.
A cute phone strap, a book token, an assortment of goods, a soft toy. There were so many presents, but I was hoping that who got what would stay secret so the sender could be saved from any potential embarrassment. The hands on the clock wouldn't turn back and kept marching forward hour by hour. I didn't know who first pointed out that it was getting late. The night wore on, and I realized how late it gotten. The Christmas party wrapped up without fanfare, and people started to disperse. Oh boy. Kazuma had offered to walk me home, and I found myself walking down a moonlit path with him. Kazuma, where are Amagiri and Shiranui?
Oh, they had some business to attend to and went home early. They should have missed the second half of the party.
Now that you mention it. I was so sure that Amagiri and Shiranui would be joining us, though. I don't know why, but being alone with Kazuma felt awkward. I stole a fleeting glance at his profile. Chikage Kazuma was a third year at Hakuoki Academy. Although I didn't understand the motivation behind it at all, he insisted on wanting to marry me. He was a little coercive and overbearing too. Honestly, I'd been afraid that he would try and pull something at today's party, even though that ended up not happening. He'd been docile. Eh?
The night's still young.
Oh god. He'd been docile the whole day for some reason, like he was trying to quell my anxiety. Kazuma, you've been very quiet today, so to speak. I was honestly a little worried that you'd get into a fight with Serizawa-san deep down. That might have been kind of rude to say, actually.
But not unwarranted.
But rather than being angry, Kazuma merely smiled at me in response.
That was a needless concern. There is no way I would have done anything to jeopardize my first Christmas with you. I wanted the memory of this day to be a fond, vivid, and unforgettable one.
Kazuma had flashed a smile at me without warning, and turned to continue walking down the road. His face was composed, and he looked more mature than usual. I felt myself relax even further, and even felt a hint of embarrassment. Then he suddenly closed the distance between us, his smile shifting to something almost seductive.
Shizuru, our romance is blessed by the heavens. Don't you think so?
Come again?
Look at this exquisite night sky. It seems that it will begin to snow at any moment. Yes, it is as if the gods themselves are throwing confetti to bless us on our wedding day. On the day of Jesus Christ's birth.
I don't know if it'd be a blessing or anything, but the weather report predicted clear skies.
Just like it is out here in the Ozarks.
Plus, it's fairly warm today. Rainfall would be more likely than snow.
Also, yes, because it's 38 degrees out here. Oh. Well then, let us make a wager. If it snows by the time we have reached your home, then we are destined to be wed.
And if it doesn't?
Then I will back down graciously and never bother you again.
What? Wait a minute. Please, never again?
I will not repeat myself.
Fastening his mouth shut, Kazuma began walking again in silence. I found myself getting swept up in his pace and hurried to follow after him. We walked in almost complete silence, glancing up at the sky from time to time. It was certainly true that up until now, Kazuma always took the coercive approach to things, which caused trouble for me and everyone else around him. But if he never, ever talked to me again...
Please, please. Let there be clear skies.
My place wasn't even 100 yards away by now.
Oh, good, a football field away.
2 more turns and I would be home. Once we got there, would Kazuma... A bout of impatience sized me up, spurring me to steel myself and speak up. Kazuma...
Here it comes. Well, shit.
Snow? Cold snow the shape of flower petals landed gently onto my cheeks and melted away. The flakes fluttered down on me one by one, melting to nothing as they came into contact with my skin. The snowflakes kept drifting gently down over us. It really did feel like some sort of blessing. Wow, even though the weather forecast said there was no chance of snow. Miracle was the word for it. It slipped from my lips on a breath with the gentle snowfall. Kazuma nodded while looking satisfied. Look at that face!
Yeah.
Kazuma! What did you do?
I had nothing to do with it, I swear.
Uh-huh.
Do you see now, Chizuru? Our fates are unmistakably intertwined.
Are they really?
But of course, there's no room in any doubt now that you have seen a miracle for yourself, no? What's wrong with my bride? Are you so moved that you're speechless? But rest assured, I know what you mean, even if you cannot speak. Now, as for the date we should announce our engagement.
That's not it. I want to ask you about these sounds that I've been hearing for a while now.
Hey, Abagiri, ain't your aim off? That's the east part of town. Adjusting it now. Please wait a moment.
Those voices and that sound. That means the snow is... I shut my mouth and snapped my gaze upwards. Oh no. And there I saw a helicopter hovering in the sky, scattering snow onto where we were standing below. Ah!
I expect no less of Amagiri and Shiranui. They're doing very well.
I knew it! I knew you were up to something. Isn't this against the rules?
The rules, you say? There were no rules to begin with. It's cliche to say that destiny is something one can manipulate through your own power, but it is certainly true in this case.
I'm sorry, I am this mood with Chizuru right now. That face is exactly... Yeah. Why do we like Kazuma?
If it is to acquire your hand in marriage, then I will even manipulate the divine providence of nature.
As we stood amidst the artificial snowfall, Kazuma gave me a fond smile, brimming with self-confidence. It might have been kind of cool, depending on who you asked, but... Come on! Should I have been glad, angry, or maybe just exasperated would have been better? I didn't know how to respond, so I rushed home to escape the only area that was experiencing any snowfall.
It seems that we have finally reached your home. So, how was my present?
God damn it, Kazuma. Was that just now your present?
Of course. I considered getting you an engagement ring, but you were so reserved as to not accept such an expensive gift, even if I were to have prepared that one. That is why I tried this instead.
I thought that having a helicopter create snowfall was probably also pretty expensive, but I shook my head and let out a sigh. If that was meant to be a present, then I was just thinking I should maybe find some way to thank you. But I can't think of anything.
Oh, but I can. Oh, a way to thank me, hmm? Well, let us pay our first respects at the year at the shrine together then.
I understand. I'd be happy to do that much. The scale of his affection felt so big that I didn't know what to do with it at times. But to my surprise, it made me feel sort of happy for the first time. I gave him a firm nod. After arriving home from the Christmas party, I turned on the heater in my chilly room. We got mail.
Message from him.
Yeah.
Chizuru, I will be brief. I have only one question to ask you. How did you find my present? Were Amagiri and Shiranui in the helicopter?
Are we going with this?
I'm rather curious. Damn it! Does that sort of thing interest you? It was Amagiri. He has licenses for various vehicles, from boats to small aircrafts.
Oh my god, I'm a giddy. Well, now we know more about Giddy in this timeline.
Yeah.
Universe, whatever you want to call it.
This instance.
As the room gradually started warming up, I recalled everything that went on tonight. What a fun Christmas day. Not to mention, remembering the events that unfolded just now made my cheeks stay warm for a good long while.
Episode 4.
That's up for 4.5! Yeah. January 1st, morning. I came to the shrine to pay my first respects of the year with Kazuma, as promised. The first day of the new year was something to celebrate. As a yawn consumes me.
Oh no.
But I let out a massive sigh instead. I had only just entered the shrine, but I already felt completely exhausted.
I think this peaceful shrine would be so congested merely because it is New Year's morning. I should have ordered people to leave after all.
I was happy he was concerned in his own way. But for the first time of many to come today, I asked him not to. You don't need to order people to leave or anything. Just be good and line up. I'm sorry, telling Cosmo to just be a good boy and line up.
But Chizuru.
It would bother other people, and it would be weird if we were the only ones prioritized here. I realized that I might have said a bit too much. His way of thinking was really a problem in and of itself, but I knew that deep down it all came from a place of genuine concern for me. I got a little worried seeing him fall silent when...
You never fail to impress, wife of mine.
Excuse me?
Even in moments of such torment, you never forget your consideration for others.
This time, I'd sunk into silence, my mind a mess. His silence didn't actually have any meaning earlier. The fact that he'd praised me without reflecting on anything I'd said made me feel, how to put it, more tired by the minute.
My greatest worry today is that you might be tossed about this crowd and to be pushed to exhaustion. I had also thought to bring Amagiri and Shiranui to form a kind of human barricade, as it were. However, I wish that on this tremendous day, when we pay our first respects of the year, for us to be alone. An opportunity we'd relish in private, as man and wife.
Man and wife? But Cosmo just kept facing forward with a smile as he explained his thought process. Ah, boy. I let out yet another sigh. This morning, when a black car had pulled up next to my house, I had no clue what was going on. Even its windows were pitch black, making sure that a single soul couldn't peek inside. Then, descending gallantly from the car, was Kazuma himself. My suspicions were confirmed at that very moment. Today was going to be a lot. I felt exhausted before the day had even really begun. Although, if I thought about it, it seemed like Kazuma had generally toned it down compared to when we had first met, even if his behavior hadn't really changed.
What is it?
I quietly answered his question. I was just recalling this past year for a bit. My first year in Hakuo Academy really went by in a flash.
I see. That is true.
Kazuma nodded in agreement.
I also think that, when reminiscing, everything feels as if it has passed by in the blink of an eye. Even though the memories I can recall between the two of us outnumber the stars themselves. I
wouldn't say there are as many as the stars, but I do have memories along those lines.
For example, one such unforgettable memory was when we studied for the test together.
Kazuma puffed out his chest boastfully.
When I cast my mind to the moment after that, I think not of unpleasant memories born from unsightly defeats, but of splendid memories like these that owe their existence to my power. You had better not forget your gratitude for me now.
Kazuma had cut me off with an exceedingly genteel smile. Genteel. Words! Genteel smile. I tried asking him. You did help me out a lot when you tutored me, but why did you have to sit so close to me back then?
You intend to make me say it. I won't fall for your wily little tricks.
I had zero idea what Cosmo wanted to say. I was awfully troubled over it, but he didn't care about that and kept speaking.
The end of the year test will be an imminent once the New Year holidays are over. If you have any subjects you are worried about again, come to the student council room. I will tutor you at any time.
Oh, no, I tried to turn down his offer before he put his palm up facing me, gesturing for me to stop.
If it is that you cannot stand the guilt of having me tutor you without doing anything in return, then serve me tea. Again, like you did the last time.
Okay, that much I can do. When did we serve him tea?
Good question. I don't know.
The only possible thing that I can think of.
Was
Wait.
during the school festival?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Or did we have... No, wait. No, I think we did serve him tea when we were tutored.
I don't know. He's confusing.
I think we did serve him tea. Cosma gave a gratified smile at my nervous nod.
Then the tea you prepared is delicious. I thought it must have been due to your lineage at the time. But now I know that wasn't the whole story.
What? I was perplexed at the wordless smile Cosma gave me. He changed the subject.
During the summer last year, we spent time together at the poolside bar. Truly a lover's paradise.
I don't know about it being a palace, but it was less like a date and more like things happened to turn out that way.
What are you saying? To set that aside as mere happenstance is tantamount to denying reality.
Was it now?
Firstly, that was certainly a rendezvous. Anyone beholding the scene of you holding our parfait as we talked together would have been seen as such.
The way he expressed it weighed on my mind, but he wasn't wrong, really. Loads of people were watching us then, too. Their attention did make me shrink a little.
Do not trouble yourself over the likes of losers. It would be the insanity to overly concern yourself with them to such an extent. Aside from that, the parfait you personally fed me was considerably flavorful. Let us prepare for such another opportunity. How does the two of us feeding each other a parfait sound for next time?
That would be,
What is it? You're red in the face.
The teasing tone in his voice irked me. I looked away in a huff. It's nothing. I stiffly denied what he said. Cosma grinned at the sight of that, just like he did back then. But my blush wasn't going away. A mean smile spread across Cosma's face. I said nothing in response.
The events of the cultural festival are still fresh in my mind. The sight of you eagerly working a costume was also one to behold, my wife.
Cosma sounded nostalgic as he whispered softly.
However, my wife, on no matter what garments accent your charms best, I believe Japanese clothing is preferable to a maid's outfit in the end.
More importantly, though... He looked a little displeased from having been interrupted. But talking about the cultural festival reminded me of what had left a lasting impression on me, so I wanted to make sure I brought it up. Your class presentation was really incredible.
You mean the tea ceremony?
I heard from Mama Giddy that you were really involved in the planning stages for it. I admire how you were able to keep running an event on such a large scale by reserving the gym in advance. Well, he's dumbfounded. Oh, it might be impertinent of me to say that I admired it, but that was really how I felt. I tacked that on in a rush. The smile Kazuma gave me upon seeing me flustered was calm and fond.
No, I don't mind this. With this, you should know how to. Should now know better about what promise I hold as a man. Further, I am the heir to a prominent tea ceremony family, so worry not. You may become my bride at any time.
Seriously? I unwittingly let out a wry smile at his remarks. Kazuma always looped everything back to that.
Afterwards, what I would call the most significant memory of last year in the end took place on Christmas Eve.
I suppose so. We had promised on Christmas Day we'd go to the shrine here.
That's because that night, you and I had sworn an oath about our future to each other.
That definitely did not happen. The way he gradually veered from the facts like that really did not sit right with me, so I flatly shot him down. But when I remember that day, my cheeks would just grow hot on their own, and I wouldn't know why. That day came as a huge shock. Yes?
No, I didn't know if that was mine or not.
That day came as a huge shock. I didn't think that would have happened even in my wildest dreams. I never would have guessed that snow would start falling right then. Or technically, how snow was made to fall, if I had to be more precise. Mage!
Hi, Mage. Cheese it is. Be it snow or anything else for you, I would simply make whatever you desire simply fall from the sky. I am prepared to devote my whole being to anything and everything you wish for.
Kazuma. Mage, you missed Christmas. You always exaggerate a little too much. I protested in a quiet voice. But I knew without a doubt that he was conveying how he really felt when he said that. Which was why I felt a little bad about it.
At any rate, there remain a scarce 3 months left in your first year at Hakuo. It's the key so that you have no regrets, so there's nothing left over for you to do.
Ah, that's okay, Mage. Okay, I'll do my best.
If there's anything I may do to allow you to live in your academy life to the fullest, speak without reservation.
Oh. I suddenly realized, since Kazuma was in his 3rd year, that meant he would graduate this spring. Soon enough, he wouldn't be around in Hakuo Academy any longer. When I had become aware of this fact, I felt a sudden, inexplicable pain in my chest once again. Kazuma had always abused his powers so much from the moment I had first enrolled, but for him to not be there any longer, I'd miss him. A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Kazuma had cocked his head, having watched me fall silent. As I clutched my chest, throbbing with pain, a thought had risen to the surface of my mind. Maybe, just maybe, what I felt for him was...
Are you alright, Chizuru?
I'm fine. It's just...
Just?
Well, we'll be parting ways in spring, so... You know. Kazuma narrowed his eyes at my muttering. It was like his gaze alone expressed an incredible incredulity. Incredulity that escaped the need for words.
What are you saying, Chizu? Until the day you swear to be my wife, I have no intention of leaving Hakuoki Academy.
Excuse me?
Seeing as how we are here to pay the shrine, how about we require our fortune slips? Let's go.
What? He took my hand, my breath caught in my throat. Normally, I wouldn't have thought that much about it and let it slide, but I just couldn't keep my cool today. His hand was warm holding mine. Even though I'd always thought he'd abuse his status so often, and really was a nuisance. Why was it that... Afterwards, I drew his attention as we finished getting our fortune slips. Mine says moderate fortune.
A fine result. You could not hope for more with great fortune, but with moderate fortune there is still room for greater still. If you ever set your eyes on the near future ahead, matters exceeding even great fortune will come to pass, no?
I see. Maybe. I said that as I read over my fortune slip, before I suddenly spotted my marriage prospects on the back. A good match will certainly be realized in good time. Startled, I instinctively folded my fortune slips shut. I must have been too on edge if something like this sent my heart racing. As I was chiding myself, Kazuma had opened his next to me before he heaved out a sigh.
How dull.
Seeing the state Kazuma was in, I asked if his fortune said...
Great fortune?
Great fortune. Does yours say great fortune? I sensed that was the case one way or another when I asked. Kazuma nodded like it was just a matter of course.
Indeed. Not once have I obtained any slip other than great fortune since birth.
Jesus. I mean, maybe. This was Kazuma we were talking about. Then how come you look so disappointed? Kazuma looked like he had sucked on a lemon. He had gotten great fortune, hadn't he? After I'd asked him that.
Though I received a great fortune slip, the marriage prospect section said, "Wait. It will take time to realize," written on the back. Do you plan on having me wait even though I've done so for close to a year?
I answered as indifferently as possible, while he fixed his stare onto me. Kazuma, I thought I told you for ages.
Huh?
It stands to reasons that it'd be improper for me to get married before I graduated high school. You wouldn't be able to see my father, and I want to concentrate on my studies now too. Why are you smiling? There was a twinkle in Kazuma's eye. I might have shot myself in the foot there.
Jesus, that means, in other words, the only obstacle standing between us is that of time. Is that not what you meant?
What?
However, it seems you have finally made up your mind. However, Japan's laws do not dictate that we must have wait until having graduated high school to be wed, no?
No,
若いうちは勉学に勤しみ、人間的な成長を遂げた。
I understand the desire to devote your youth to study in the hopes of attaining personal growth as well.
俺は結婚したからといって、
Yeah, I am not such a petty man that I will have my bride hold up in our household after we have gotten married, you know?
okay, but,
お前の成長を阻む気はない。
I possess no intent to stymie your growth. You may attend university if you wish.
ならば結婚という義に対し、
With that, you should have no remaining qualms with us holding a marriage ceremony, no?
千鶴、
Chizuru, I swear I will.
come on, Kazuma. Let's go tie up our fortune slips. Kazuma made smooth use of his silver tongue, but I shoved hard at his back so we could start walking. I was thinking as I tied my slip to a tree. Kazuma's graduation rattled me so much when it came to mine, no matter how hard I tried to not let it get to me. The fact that I'd gotten so hyper aware of him must have caused that. The inside of my head felt like mush now. I was worrying so much that I couldn't concentrate at all. That meant I couldn't tie up my fortune slip very well, which Kazuma seemed to notice.
貸せ。
But
Give me that.
Kazuma took my fortune slip from me and promptly tied it to the tree for me.
おみくじを木に結ぶという風習には、
The custom of tying fortune slips to trees is called forming a connection with Buddha, or contracting a marriage.
これで俺とお前の
With this, we should be able to say that we have solidified the invisible bonds between you and I at last.
I was still worrying as I heard him speak. Kazuma certainly was a good-looking guy. Even in the shrine, so many girls have been sneaking furtive glances at him for quite some time. He had a surprisingly nice side to him and was a gentleman at heart. He was always overbearing and telling me to marry him, but if I factored that out, Kazuma may just have been a really wonderful person. What? When I thought about it that much, a fresh cause for concern cropped up again. Why was it that someone as charming as him was telling me that I was the one for him?
迎えの車をよこせ。
Yes. Yes. Send for a vehicle.
Kazuma was on a call. When I first heard about a car, I'd initially refused, but he pressed the issue and ended up having his way. I felt grateful for how he felt, but I ultimately felt a little guilty about it anyway. Suddenly, I saw a woman in a white kimono walk inside the shrine. Is there a New Year's wedding taking place? I asked Kazuma that aloud without thinking while vacantly eyeing her snow white kimono.
千鶴、
Chizuru,
お
do
前も
you
やはり
yearn for
ああいうものが
clothing like that after all?
Did you not hear the question I asked? I said,
A little?
the answer is, I don't really know.
Oh.
Honestly, I don't really know. I answered by saying how I really felt. Kazuma did say a lot about me being his wife, us getting married, and so on. But when it came to how I viewed marriage and my prospects in the near future, I still couldn't quite picture it in my head.
それはいかんな。
That will not do.
He looked sullen at what I said. But then Kazuma hit the palm of his hand like he'd thought of something. Oh god.
よし、ついた。
Alright. Follow me.
I've been dragged. He said that and turned on
Yep.
his heel, taking my hand as we left the shrine behind us. Where are we going?
You'll see, my petit chauffeur.
Kazuma, where are we going? The sudden development troubled me, but I wasn't able to refuse with how tightly he held my hand. The place where Kazuma brought me was a white chapel on the hilltop, huh?
Nah.
What? Actually, thinking about it now, Olsen and Kozusu showed it to me in some special feature article in a magazine.
Oh no.
I was pretty sure they were talking about some incredibly wonderful chapel that was arranged to be completed on a hilltop. Then, while I don't know why, Kazuma exchanged some quick words with the chapel administrator. Kazuma!
No.
After which we were allowed to take a tour inside. That's a background.
That's wow.
Wow!
I just said that.
The light shining through the large stained glass windows gleamed with all of the colors of the rainbow. The picture I'd seen in that magazine paled in comparison to the real thing. It didn't do justice to how the sacred light filled the gorgeous chapel.
This was freshly completed at the end of the year. As this is a brand new chapel, it hosted no ceremonies as of yet. I wanted to choose a place like this for us. That's why I brought you along.
How did you even hear about this?
Oh, I have my ways.
Kazuma walked in front of the stained glass windows before he spoke to me proudly.
Well, you will do well not to underestimate me. I would spare no effort to see you smile.
There you go. This is one of the rare moments where Kazuma's actually fucking genuine, I think.
Yeah.
Which he does have. It's hidden behind bitchiness. Kazuma.
I myself do not hold any particular admiration for religion. But I am not so ignorant that I would not know of wedding gards that a marriageable woman would admire. I imagine you more easily in a wedding gown than a white kimono in the end. What say you, my betrothed?
But I felt so lost, even by my own standards, that I tried to buy some time by changing the subject a bit. Wouldn't a traditional Japanese ceremony be better, considering your family's station? He was going to be the head of the tea ceremony. He was going to be the head of a tea ceremony family. I couldn't imagine a traditional altar would be involved. But after I said that, I realized that almost made it sound like it was a given that Kazuma and I were going to get married. I'd started panicking so much on the inside while Kazuma addressed me airily.
How about we hold a ceremony first, with just the two of us? If we have a need for a ceremonial altar for the official events, we may contact our relatives and host them for another ceremony on a separate day. Lastly, it would be ideal for us to hold our spectacular reception in a hotel.
You've gone so far as to make plans for a reception? His eyes went completely shut while he smiled, sounding unusually sweet when he then murmured,
I have even turned the image of you dressed in your wedding gown over and over in my mind's eye. I do this not for my family, nor for my social standing, I simply want to see my lovely bride in all her finery.
After whispering and slowly pulling my hand close. Oh! There you go.
Wow!
Kazuma softly kissed the back of my fingers.
健やかなる時も
In sickness and in health, in good times and in bad, for richer, for poorer.
Boop. The feeling of his soft lips tickled me a little.
千鶴を愛
I
し
will love you and honor you, Chizuru Yukimura.
My heart was racing so fast.
命の限り
I pledge myself to you for the rest of my days.
All I wanted to do was run away. My heart could have leapt out of my chest with how fast it was beating. I wasn't able to shake off Kazuma's hand holding my own. I already knew. The fact that I couldn't push his hand away was a sign that I couldn't refuse his feelings. After that, we ended up inspecting the rooms within the chapel, like the room the bride would wait in and others. Most strikingly, the dressing room contained several wedding dresses that were put there. Against my better judgment, I found myself mesmerized by a pure white wedding dress.
Of course.
Kazuma told me just to say the word if I wanted to try any of them on, but I firmly turned his suggestion down. I did think it was kind of a shame that I left without having tried any of them on, though. No, this is a good thing!
Well, you could just sneak back and do it without him being there.
Okay, that's true. But I didn't wear any of them in the end. I felt that if I'd worn a dress, that would have led to some conversation about how swimmingly our marriage would go. Up until today, I'd been easily able to listen and go along with Kazuma's spiels about marriage and treat it as a joke. But I'd already come to realize I couldn't go on like I wasn't aware of him any longer. In the end, Kazuma dropped me off in front of my house via car. The sun was already setting around then, staining the sky a bright crimson. Damn it.
Are you alright, Chizuru? You've been silent for a while.
I gave a stiff nod at his concerned question. I'm fine, it's nothing really. I couldn't relax in the slightest, and I couldn't think normally either. Because I never would have thought that our plan would pay our first respects of the new year would have led me to consciously consider marriage. Kazuma thought for a bit before he spoke with a deeply serious tone.
すまない
Apologies.
今日の俺は
I may have been a little too impatient today.
しかし
However, I always profess what I want you to be my bride unmistakably stems from how I truly feel.
本然から我が家
You may feel troubled that I call you my wife and such, but
それの理由が
there is a reason behind that as well.
Is there? Oh my god! He's blushing. I don't remember this at all. I don't remember this sprite existing anywhere. What the hell? I blinked and Kazuma's eyes wandered, as if he was a little embarrassed.
とにかくお前
At
は
any
俺のよう
rate,
な完璧な男
You too likely have your own hardships from having fallen for a perfect man such as myself at first sight. And there he is. He's back.
Yeah, he's back to being Kazuma.
だがそれでも
Nonetheless, even then,
俺はお前が俺のことを
I have come to believe that you would not let go this far. Not go this far, but were you wary of me?
Of course. I wouldn't go pay my first respects of the year with someone I didn't like. I nodded and Cosmo looked very serious. Oh no.
Oh no.
Combined with how gallant he looked by nature, just having him stare at me with that look on his face made my heartbeat go faster.
Jesus. Do you like me?
I, uh, I was at a loss for words. So many thoughts were getting tangled in my head that I still couldn't answer that question. My eyes cast downwards without me thinking, but then Cosmo readily withdrew from me.
No matter. I will leave it here for today.
Huh? I looked back at him, wondering if that was alright. When I did, he gazed at me with a warm smile.
I mind not. My fortune slip did say to wait after all. Worry not about the changes of the school year when the winter holidays end. And come visit the student council room whenever you like.
After declaring that, Kazuma got into his car without waiting for my response. Left dumbfounded in front of my house, I watched as his black limo faded into the distance. School would start in several days. How would I feel when seeing him again? With only so little of the winter break left, I didn't think I could sort out everything going on in my heart by the time it ended at all. Then, that night, as usual, after I finished having dinner alone, I went upstairs to my room. Mail!
Azuma.
Called them out.
Azuma. Happy New Year, my wife. We have finished the wedding rehearsal, and this year our marriage will also be realized. It can be safely said that there is no longer anything in the way of our love. I don't know.
Okay, tell me. Tell me when!
Quack.
I feel like it's too soon. Oh god!
Wow! Are there not many examples of student marriage already? Well, I am a patient man. I do not mind waiting just a little bit longer.
Jesus Christ, Cosma.
We're making a save right here.
Yeah, we're saving. Oh, look, it's Cosma on it.
Oh, look.
It's the bitch. A New Year's program was playing on TV, but I just couldn't bring myself to watch it. In my daze, I stared blankly out my window. The events that happened today replayed in my head, making me feel giddier with every passing moment. The first night of the new year drew to a close as I dwindled on my thoughts.
A Valentine's showdown. Oh boy.
Oh, dear God, no. Oh, this is gonna be a train wreck. One day, the moment I opened the classroom door in the morning, the students inside stopped talking all at once and turned to look my way. Even when I just stood up from my seat and started walking, I could feel everyone's gazes tailing me. Now that I thought about it, the atmosphere at Hakuoki Academy had felt sort of weird since this morning. It had been a little while since the start of the new semester. The unforgiving chill of winter was finally beginning to let up. Since the start of February, I'd grown used to rubbing my shaky hands together while walking to and from school. After completing the most arduous class of the week, Monday first period, I frowned, thinking about the odd discomfort I'd been feeling since this morning. Do you have a minute?
No. What is it, Yukimura? Oh, do you want to tell me something? Whatever it is, you can tell me.
No, sorry, it's nothing actually. Seeing the jumpy, nervous state my classmates were in made me frown even more deeply. And it wasn't just my classmates either. Everyone I passed by in the hallways, all the senior students, absolutely everyone had been acting downright strange this whole morning. I'd lock eyes with people and they'd quickly look away. The opposite happened too. People would shoot me an earnest look whenever I said something inconsequential. Honestly, just what in the world was going on with everyone? It's called a holiday.
Yeah.
And then during the lunch break after morning classes, we got mail! Did we say that at the same time?
Probably.
Friends!
Probably the...
Chizuru, if you happen to go out with a boy from your school, would you want to go out with someone from your grade or someone older? You're a first year, so you can't answer with someone younger right now.
Oh my god.
Well, I want to...
You
prefer someone older after all.
you're going with that one?
Yes. Yes!
Oh, I can't say. Why is that the right answer?
Because you have nothing but older people in your school, basically.
But you can have someone your same age.
Yeah, but of all the bachelors and everything in the game...
Fuck, I think you're right. Anyway.
The closest one would be Heisuke. And that's it.
And Ibuki.
Yeah, but is he romanceable, though?
I don't know, that's the problem.
Is that so? That means there's no one you're interested in your grade, right? Hang in there. Sorry to ask something so weird. Thanks.
Oh,
No, she's doing it for Sen.
No, I know why she's asking that.
Ibuki?
Yeah, she's asking that because Ibuki's in her same grade.
Oh, well, don't worry about it. You'll find somebody. If you'll excuse me, I got something to take care of.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Leave my son alone.
No.
Yes.
She says no.
Jesus Christ. People kept staring at me and I couldn't stand it. I rushed out into the hall as soon as the bell rang. When I first enrolled, I got a lot of stares as the only girl in school, but even so, I feel like people are staring at me even more than they were back then. In the courtyard. In the corridor outdoors. I grabbed my bento and walked off, hoping to get away from all of the stares. I looked for anywhere I could go where no one else would be around. The place I finally settled on was the quietest room in the school. Excuse me.
Oh? What an unexpected guest we have here. Yukimura, what's wrong? Are you feeling sick?
No, I feel fine, thank you. But actually...
I see. You feel as if you're drawing even more attention than usual lately.
Maybe I'm just being overly self-conscious, but I feel like there's always someone who's looking at me. Is there anything strange about me today? Like my appearance, or... Maybe I had bedhead, for instance. Or maybe my jacket was buttoned wrong. As I spun once in place to show them how I looked, Yamazaki-san quickly averted his eyes. Oh, something must be out of place then, huh? Is it my clothes or my face?
No, there's nothing wrong with your face. You look like you always do. You look like you always do.
Yamazaki slight panics like, ah, shit. Yamazaki hurriedly shook his head for some reason. Sanan-sensei smiled wryly and said,
私はその場を見
I
ている
haven't seen this situation firsthand, but this may be mere conjecture, however.
ひょっとして
Could it be that all of the students in your vicinity look restless and agitated?
Yes, now that you put it that way, I think that's right. Someone nearly jumped out of their skin earlier when I called out to them. I wonder if I did something wrong without noticing somehow.
そうですね
I suppose you are correct in a certain sense.
Huh?
In short, you are at fault for being too attractive.
What?
どういう意味か
I think you will come to understand what I mean soon enough.
ね
Isn't that right, Yamazaki-san? I don't know why you're bringing me into this at all, no.
Don't drag my best boy into this, Sanan.
That calls for the button, honestly.
Yeah.
Goddamn snake!
There
Yeah,
it is.
There it is. He called me attractive. Could it be that he was teasing me? It's Sanan! I shot him a reproachful glare on reflex, but he showed no signs of noticing. He gave me a sweet smile and spoke again.
ああそれよりその様子では
More importantly, it seems as though you have yet to eat your lunch.
I couldn't stand to stay in the classroom any longer, so I didn't eat there.
ではここでお昼
Well,
を
then why don't you eat here? You do seem to have brought along your own bento.
I had the feeling that he had deftly dodged answering any of my questions.
No, I wouldn't do that.
But I decided that I'd take him up on his offer for now and gave a little nod. I ended up staying much longer than I'd intended to. By the time I left the infirmary, I had very little of my lunch break remaining. I'm pretty sure that my first afternoon class is math with Nagakura-sensei. Maybe it was because I had a good meal, or because I had talked with those two, but I felt a little less anxious. But for the time being, I need to find somewhere to kill a little more time. Then, as I walked off, away from where math would take place, something huge blocked my path and my vision.
I have a fantastic banana. Oh, what do you think you're up to, Yukimura? Don't you have math in just a little bit?
俺の授業をサボ
Oh, if you're trying to skip class, then I don't want to hear about it.
No, I wasn't intending on doing that.
Then where are you going? To the toilet?
Every time! A resident himbo, everyone.
Yes.
I thought the Nagakura-sensei was a little lacking in tact.
A hallmark of the himbo.
No, that's not it, actually.
Oh? Oh, I see. So your classmates are acting kind of weird, huh?
Do you know something about it?
そりゃ
Well, you know, it's just that time of year.
He folded his arms, nodding sagely to himself as he said that.
男たちの夢
It's gotta be the day that men both dream of and dread of. Valentine's Day!
Oh. I hadn't been consciously aware of it because there were still a couple of days left before the 14th, but now that I thought about it, it was already February.
Don't wait that long either, drink water.
Then you know what? Because you
What?
made me drink water, we're going on a break because I have no water.
Alright, we'll be back, chat.
Let's see, where do I put this BRB?
I would say on the board back there.
Right there?
I said board, like the message board back there.
The,
Hi, Nakakura.
Yeah, but it doesn't quite fit as well.
Um,
So like right there.
yeah, perfect.
Okay. Be right back.
Yeah, be right back, chat.
Bop.
Bibbidi.
Boppy.
Bop. Alright.
Alright, back to this.
Now get rid. There it goes. Alright.
Val-
Valentine's.
Valentine's ads usually flooded the city by now. That would more or less explain all the attention I had been getting this morning. Actually, it was a bigger mystery that I hadn't noticed any sooner.
You this motherfucker. You're the only one in the school who can do something for Valentine's Day, Yukimura. Who does the school's idol heart belong? Who does the school idol's heart belong to? Anyone would be interested in finding that one out.
Please stop. This is so embarrassing. Incidentally, how about you, Nagakura-sensei? You sound like you're excited for Valentine's Day.
Oh, of course! Why, this year I'm definitely going to get some chocolate from a beautiful lady for once.
For once, huh? I was sort of wondering if he'd ever gotten any before, but I decided not to ask for the moment.
Wise decision. Well, I think there are tons of guys who are hoping to get chocolates from you, but well, if you feel obligated to go around and give some to every one of them, it doesn't matter how much you give. It'll never be enough. We'll at least have peace and quiet around here until the 14th, so let's just forget about it for now. Come on, let's head into class.
After he had explained what was going on, Nagakura-sensei started leading the way to the classroom. Would it be easier for me to go back in if he was there with me? I decided to follow after him. Valentine's Day, huh? Now that someone had mentioned it, I realized I really did need to start thinking about it. That day would gradually start drawing closer and closer. What should I make this year?
Your girlfriends will help you decide.
My afternoon classes felt like they'd lasted longer than usual, but they were finally over. A feeling of freedom came over me as the final bell rang. School had finished for today. The moment homeroom ended, I left the classroom. Thanks to the little chats I had during lunch, I knew why everyone was acting oddly now, but that didn't change how uncomfortable it made me. On the contrary, now that I knew what everyone was expecting from me, I felt more and more like I couldn't stand to stay there a second longer. As the sun began to set, the shadow of all those chocolatey expectations caused my face to fall. Soon enough, the day that gave women the courage to confess their love would roll around. A day where girls have both chocolate and their hearts to the apple of... I keep doing that.
To the apple of their eye.
Hoping to start something. Who in the world should I give?
Something.
I was shaken from my thoughts by some sort of commotion going on right in front of me. What's with this crowd? There was a throng of people, all crowded around some sort of notice board affixed to the hallway. I spotted some people I recognized amidst the crowd and called out to them. Amagiri, Shiranui!
Oh, Yukimura. Are you on your way home?
I was going to, but what's going on over here?
It'd be faster if you just saw for yourself. Hey, you! Move it or lose it!
I stepped into the space Shiranui had made for me and began to read the bulletin aloud. Announcement. Beginning tomorrow, students will undergo random personal effects inspections for a week. Entertainment and gaming systems, as well as unnecessary food and drink, will be confiscated?
Starting tomorrow and lasting for 1 week. Put it more simply, up until Valentine's Day. The perfect plan to eliminate any potential chocolate giving. And the only person nasty enough to take this up, well, you can take a guess, right?
Don't tell me it's Kazuma.
Oh, nah, it ain't our boss. He's aiming for the opposite, actually.
え
Yeah, contrary to this announcement, Cosmo is impatiently awaiting receiving chocolates.
So if it's not him, then it's...
Brother knows best.
It hurts to be called nasty, you know. Kaoru! Pushing his way through the crowd, Kaoru made swift strides up to where we were standing. Kaoru, what does this mean? Is this notice from the disciplinary committee? Of course. It's our job to correct any disruptions to order within the school. Why are you doing such a thing? Why? Isn't it obvious? If we take no preventative measures, the riffraff won't have a shred of shame coming to pester you for obligatory chocolate. But if it's banned from the school grounds entirely, everyone will have to give up, right? You should be grateful to have a brother as kind as me.
Oh my god.
But if things are like this now, if I happen to bring romantic chocolates, won't they end up being confiscated too? Romantic chocolates, you say? Well, say what you want. If I recall, you don't have anyone you want to confess to in the first place, right? Well, or don't tell me you attempt to confess to someone like Todo or Okita or even Saito. I didn't say anything like that. Kaoru continued to rattle off a rapid-fire stream of questions while completely ignoring my objections. Though, truth be told, I had no idea he was even capable of looking as frustrated as he did now. Anyway, you're still too young. You absolutely can't bring any chocolate. Got it? You absolutely cannot.
What are you gonna do, little guy? Sit on me?
Kaoru went to the trouble of reminding me twice before he brusquely marched away. I was left dumbfounded in his wake before I turned to Amagiri and Shiranui. I'm sorry you two had to see such a shameful display.
I mean, I don't care about that, but what even was that? It seems that the inner workings of an older brother's mind are just as mysterious as those of a woman.
Amagiri. After that, I parted ways with Amagiri and Shiranui and passed through the front gate on my way home. Even if I set aside the random inspections for now, I couldn't escape the fact that Valentine's Day was fast approaching. I really don't have a choice. I need to start thinking about what chocolates to make. The person I want to give chocolates to, huh? My mumble turned into white fog as it left my mouth. It rose up into the heavens and vanished, destined to never reach anyone else's ears. There was 1 week left until Valentine's Day. A sweet, painful feeling swam in the depths of my heart at the thought of who I wanted to give chocolates to. I wonder if I'd even be able to. On a certain winter morning, textbooks check, bento check. I was checking my school bag, making sure I was all prepared for the day. Oh. The calendar on my bedroom wall suddenly caught my eye while I was packing for the day. I wasn't doing it consciously, but my gaze just kept floating back to one date in particular. Valentine's Day. When I thought about giving chocolates, well, I guess there was only one person who came to mind. But it was worrying me too. Namely, giving him chocolates would be responding to his feelings in kind. That was what worried me. Which would lead to, in other words, marriage. It wouldn't just be whether we'd start dating or not. We would end up skipping the dating stage entirely. Even if I said my chocolates were just my way of showing my gratitude, chances were he wouldn't take it that way. I heaved a long sigh, feeling increasingly distressed. I better head to school now. I forced myself out of that train of thought, deciding it was time to head off. I spotted Cosmo just as the school gates came into view. I was automatically on my guard, since I hadn't come to a decision yet. But he seemed to be talking on his cell phone. I could overhear a bit of his conversation.
I understand. I understand the situation. Please, give them my regards.
He hung up before he looked my way, seeming a little surprised to see me there.
Oh, to think I would run into my wife in such a place. What a good omen to start the day. Yet another sign that we are meant to be.
Ohio, Kazuma. He was acting the same as he always did, which confused me a little. Because, well, Valentine's Day was pretty soon. I've been certain that he would start badgering me about chocolates as soon as he caught the sight of me, and yet...
Is something the matter, Chizuru?
No, nothing. Something about the way he was acting made me uneasy, and I found myself unable to stop staring at him. Then his phone rang again. The look on Cosmo's face made it obvious that he was reluctant to pick up, but he accepted the call regardless.
Hi, it is me. Is there anything else? The timing does not work for them? I distinctly recall saying that I would leave all scheduling adjustments to you.
Cosmo spoke sharply to whoever was on the other end of the line. Had he decided that his conversation was going to drag on for a while? He pressed his hand over the microphone and turned to me.
Although you went to the trouble of seeking me out, I am unable to speak with you much right now, but if I've made you feel neglected, then I will ensure that I will make it up to you later.
Having promised me that, he walked off, leaving me standing there, alone. He was acting strange. What in the world was going on with him? Morning classes had ended. It was time for lunch break. Conflicted over where to eat my lunch, I ended up going to the cafeteria for the first time in a while. And then, while drinking hot tea and eating my bento.
Oh, here she is.
I heard a familiar voice and looked up. Shiranui and Namagiri?
Good for you, Chizuru. We have caused countless inconvenience for you thus far, but this is as far as it goes.
Did something happen?
Oh, pardon me. You have not yet heard the news? He's not gonna stalk you anymore. He's not gonna stalk you anymore.
Huh?
I heard about him being in marriage talks with the daughter of a fancy tea ceremony family or something like that.
Oh!
Oh. It appears that Cosmo had become obsessed with you originally due to a problem he had with finding a spouse possessing an appropriate bloodline. He fixated upon you because of your late mother hailed from a prestigious tea ceremony family.
Oh!
Oh.
What he was saying was just too shocking. I lost the ability to hear him halfway through his explanation. My chopstick slipped from my hand with a clatter.
Looks like you're finally gonna be able to graduate. Looks like we're finally gonna be able to graduate. I am truly happy for you. It seems that from here on out you will no longer suffer as many unreasonable demands and harassments from Kazuma.
The pair offered their congratulations and departed without noticing that I was at a complete loss for words.
This is exactly what we wanted, but it doesn't feel...
right.
Yeah.
I was left there, dumbfounded. I scooped up my fallen chopsticks, my whole body stiff with shock. I had been eating up until a while ago, but I couldn't bring myself to eat any longer. No music. I had over half my food left, but ultimately I just repacked it and left the cafeteria. Is that? As I trudged...
He was briefly there.
Eh?
He was briefly there.
As I trudged around the hallway, I spotted Cosmo walking towards the school entrance. I ran after him before I could even think about it. Kazuma! I was able to catch up with him just as he reached the entryway.
Chizuru?
Kazuma turned around, looking stunned. Was he surprised because this was the first time I had run after him? Or was it something else? Kazuma, why are you going outside?
I'm heading home now.
But it's still only lunchtime. Did something happen?
I am busy managing relationships on my family's behalf at the moment.
He was being evasive. Was he busy with the marriage negotiations after all?
I have no time to spare today. I am reluctant to part from you, but we will continue this soon.
Kazuma! I couldn't help but stop him as he turned to walk away. I have something I want to ask you. Is it true that you're in arranged marriage negotiations?
It is what you want to say.
That was what I really wanted to ask him, but I had only just heard about it. I hadn't had time to wrap my mind about it yet, and I didn't have the courage to say it out loud. So instead, I asked about
Valentine's Day.
You are correct. And now we know Kazuma's fate in all the others' routes.
So he did get married.
Just not with the person he thought.
Yeah.
Kazuma, do you, what do you think about Valentine's Day?
That's coming up on February 14th, yes? It is a commoner's holiday, in my opinion. Okay, he's lying through his teeth right now. However, young women approaching marriageable age often have difficulty being honest with their feelings toward the person they have fallen in love with. Uh-huh. I suppose without an appropriate opportunity, these women will not be able to confess the deep emotion that has filled their hearts.
You may be right about that. I agreed, if vaguely so. I really did think that Valentine's gave a lot of people the courage to confess their feelings. What? Suddenly, Kazuma gave me an annoying smirk for some reason, like he had come to some understanding.
Oh no!
Oh god, is... Kazuma?
Taking advantage of such an event? You must not think I am so bad then, right, Chizuru?
It was obvious from his face.
God fucking damn it!
face a face that said he already expected to receive Valentine's chocolates from me. I might have just dug my own grave.
I am often prevented from attending school these days, but I am certain I will certainly be present on February 14th.
Ah.
I have already decided on my response. You need not worry about anything. Just be patient.
I intended to give him some chocolates, so that meant without a doubt that I was also going to confess to him. Cosmo departed with a spring in his step. I was conflicted as I watched him go. I wonder, was he trying to say that he wants to get chocolate from me? I heard about his marriage negotiations, and yet, were the two things unrelated? I was curious about his feelings, but I couldn't just stick my nose into his business. Thinking about it made my heart pound in my chest, mysteriously enough. After that, I didn't see Cosmo again until Valentine's Day. It seems that he really was incredibly busy, just like he said he would be. I wonder if that was anything to do with his arranged marriage negotiations after all. All I wanted was a little more time. Yet as if despite me, time still passed, and the day seems to get shorter and shorter. But before I knew it, the calendar already read mid-February. I spent my Saturday afternoon preparing for Valentine's Day, which was fast approaching. Oh, we still have to go through this scene. Ugh. I visited the Hakuoki Academy cafeteria with Olsen and Kozusu over the weekend. This is Hakuoki Academy's cafeteria? I saw a little bit of it during the cultural festival, but it really is so spacious.
Ours is a little bit smaller in scale. Lots of people bring in bentos anyway.
Usually, I was the only girl around here, so it actually felt really strange seeing other girls in school like this. The two of them looked at the unfamiliar food items on offer on the display menu and grinned. Look, Kozusu! Doesn't this pudding look delicious?
Listen, we're not here to eat or anything.
Well, Kozusu was right. We didn't come here today to eat.
I hope you three aren't waiting long. Everything's ready now.
That must have been a lot of work, Inoue-san. Thank you so much.
But is it really alright for people who aren't part of your school to borrow your kitchen like this?
You've already gotten permission for it, haven't you? Besides, you're from Shimabara Girls High School. There's nothing you had to be shy over.
Well, we'll take you up on your offer then. How about we get started? Time to make some chocolates.
Now, I don't want to get in the way of you girls, so I'll stay in the back and leave you to it. You're free to use whatever equipment you need in the kitchen. Just be careful with the fire.
Sure thing. Thank you so much. After thanking him, we first lined up all the ingredients we had brought in a row. Fresh cream, unsalted butter, cocoa powder,
Wheat flour, eggs, baking powder.
chocolate to use, more chocolate to use. Oh, and some more chocolate to use. Osa, are you making a life-size chocolate statue?
Don't tempt her.
Want Chizuru-chan? Would you be the model for it?
It's surreal to imagine that being eaten.
Absolutely not. Ah, boo. Well, we're not even making one big chocolate in the first place anyway.
We'll just be making several smaller ones. Olsen has a large circle of acquaintances. She also needs to give some to her relatives.
Oh, I see. It must be nice for you two.
You look like you've got chocolates to give to your special someones. Huh? Well, I don't know if you have anyone like that to give chocolates to, Chizuru-chan. But lately, Kozasu's gotten close with that Ibuki-kun guy we met at the pool, I mean. Since when? It's not really like that. These chocolates are platonic.
With her ingredients cradle in hand, Kozasu's expression went very tender with her muttering. I felt somewhat jealous seeing that, but I also found myself making a similarly fond face. Now then, how about we make those chocolates, huh? Let's do this. I wondered if I'd have such a tender expression as I put my heart into what I would make. But anyway, I had to do my best in making them. It's time for the chibis.
Yay.
No matter what came next, first we had to warm things up. The chocolates we heated inside the bowl slowly started to change shape. Now, next is... With the chocolate's sweet-smelling fragrance, it was only natural that it reminded me of someone. I used liquor to add a mature flavor that would make the taste stand out. As I put it down next to the sink, liquor? Liquor? How? My brain is confused. I suddenly thought about Kazuma.
It'd be nice if these chocolates made him happy.
I didn't expect that. Giving him these chocolates would be tantamount to responding to his feeling. I kept making my truffles in silence while ruminating over it. Truffles! While I thought about that, at the end of the day, even with the tasty chocolates I made, I wasn't even sure that I could bring them to school in the first place. I could trick them one way or the other during the inspections. Also, Kozasu cocked their heads a little at me. Maybe because they realized that I'd stopped doing anything at some point. What's wrong, Chizuru-chan? Nothing. I just don't know if I can bring these to school even though I've made them.
What do you mean?
The truth is... Whoosh. That's what the inspections are for? What the heck? That's so mean of them. I went into Junko.
The fact they're doing it now means they're totally targeting Valentine's Day.
Hearing about the inspections the disciplinary committee would run really raised their hackles. They stopped making their chocolates and looked ready to run over and give them a beating right this second. I hurriedly shook my head at them. Calm down, you two. It's already been decided anyway. But isn't that just complete tyranny? Maybe if I go and give them a complaint or two.
Olsen, you'd be sure to cause havoc if you did that. So try and bear with it. Although, even though it's definitely unfair, I feel like there is a point to it. Practically speaking, you have fewer boys you need to worry about wanting chocolates thanks to that notice.
You have a point, but...
You can't really do much seeing as it's been decided. And if there's someone you want to give chocolates to, you can just do it after you go home, right?
Honestly, Kozasu might have been right. Even if I wanted to give chocolates to someone, there wasn't any reason I had to bring it to school.
I'm of the opposite opinion. I mean, Valentine's Day is a whole page in this chapter of our lives right now, right? There's meaning in giving chocolates to someone at school. Plus, you'll make memories that way, too.
I can see both sides to it. If there's someone you want to give them to no matter what, then this is the one chance you get this year. You can't give in to the rules.
But I think it'd be really sad if you got your chocolates confiscated as a result.
Well, whatever you end up doing, the choice will be yours to make, Chizuru-chan. What would be the right thing to do? I thought about that in the back of my mind while starting the final stages of making my chocolate. Whoosh! Between the cracks in the cold, leaden winter clouds, you could catch a glimpse of the vivid blue sky at times. The refreshing and perfectly lucid blueness of it somehow reminded of how close spring was. The sky on Valentine's Day was just a little bit brighter than usual. Now then, just a little more until I got to school. Since I'd been walking to school by myself up until this point, I snuck a glance at my bag. And it was a manifestation of how I felt. Will I be able to give them to him properly? If I just wanted to give him some chocolate, there were plenty of other ways I could do that. I could go home and bring them to him after school, like Kozasu said, and that would work. Or I could bring them around the next day. But
There's meaning to giving chocolates to someone at school. Plus, you'll make memories that way too.
Osun's right. If I was going to express how I felt with my chocolates, I wanted to do it this Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day was a magical occasion that gifted bravery to girls. But to do that, I had to get through the personal effects inspections first. I tried out all sorts of schemes to hide my chocolates, but I wondered if it would really fool them. I worried over that as I set foot onto the school grounds.
Oh, good morning. I'm happy you're looking well today as ever.
Ohayo, Kondo-sensei. Are you greeting people this morning? You must be hard at work.
Not at all. I feel energized just by seeing all of my students doing so well.
I bet he got a present from his wife.
I can neither confirm nor deny the allegations of that accusation.
After he said that with a hearty laugh, Kondo-sensei suddenly lowered his voice and fixed his gaze on me.
Incidentally, Yukimura, you didn't do anything like bring chocolates with you today, did you?
Huh? No,
Oh no, please, don't get the wrong idea. I don't suspect you or anything like that. I just wanted to check if the rumor I heard was true. That the inspections are just a pretext to stop people from pestering you for chocolate. Setting that aside, whether you actually brought any chocolates with you, you're likely to have your belongings inspected many times over today. So be careful.
I will. Everywhere I went, I could see students from the disciplinary committee around me. It made me nervous as I walked down the hallways. We know what this means.
Yeah, this also means you could very easily disguise those chocolates as a thing to drink water
Oh,
from.
Jesus Christ. Tell me you got the thing.
Oh yeah, hang on. Let me just open that bookmark real quick.
I need to go get it too.
Bookmarks. SSL cheat sheet.
SSL cheat sheet.
Chapter 5.
Yep, chapter 5.
I have it up, and we're good to go.
I got it too. Hold on, let me just scroll down a little bit. It's still scrolling down a little bit. There it is. Time for the hardest minigame in this game. And I mean that.
Well, at the very least, you don't have to worry about Kazuma's minigame this time around.
True.
Saito is easy. Heisuke is easy.
Okita's not easy.
Nagakura's not. Well, I mean, eh.
Eh.
Yeah, Soji's is not easy. Hijikata and the brat are basically the same thing.
Yeah, they're kind of easy. Yamazaki's just troubles.
Yes. Sonnen is actually not too difficult. All right, let's go.
Okay. I was more keyed into my surroundings than I needed to be, and judging from the way I gripped my bag, I probably looked really suspicious.
Yukimura.
Hi!
More Ohio. Hey, what you so jumpy for?
Nothing, it's nothing. I kept glancing at my bag that had my chocolates in it and walked down the corridor.
Yukimura, I'm from the disciplinary committee. Please open your bag for inspection.
I don't know anything about any chocolates.
No one said anything about chocolates.
I don't know anything. I walked
Wait,
off in a hurry.
what?
Even if people started talking to me, I had to look like I knew nothing.
Would you like to skip? No.
No.
Who's first?
Who is first?
Oh, how?
Ah, shit! Of course it's you! Of course it's Soji! Of course it's Soji! What is Soji's anyway?
This is a game where you must raise or lower Serizawa or Hijikata according to Okita's instructions. Doing this 10 times correctly to pass the mission. Touch the left side of the screen to raise or lower Serizawa. Touch the right side. Oh.
Yay.
That should have just not been Razor.
I don't know. Alright, we failed. Let's load. That was so unfair game.
First again because that might be worrisome.
Da, 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 da. Let's say right there.
What? You know why? Here we go again.
Jesus Christ. Alright, let's
What? Sound of speeding things up.
go. Okay. Oh, thank God.
Okay, thank God it's Heisuke.
I don't remember the button orders.
It says square for the apple, triangle for the orange, X for the peach, and circle for the melon.
Yeah, remember I'm using an Xbox controller.
Okay, so then, oh, Nintendo Switch controller will help. Let's see, so, Y for the orange, X for the apple, A for the peach, and B for the melon. Because you gotta remember, the difference between Nintendo and Xbox is that the X and Y buttons and the B and A buttons are swapped.
Wait, so like Y is
up and A is down. I
no.
also have a PS5 controller here too to help out too.
Can you tell me what Y is relative again?
Y is the orange.
Okay, so Y orange, X is apple.
X is the apple, yes.
Okay,
A is the peach and B is the melon.
okay. We have the pause button, I remember.
Yes.
Alright, Heisuke. Orange.
Y.
Okay. Melon. Y,
Circle B.
B.
Y, B,
B,
B.
X.
X.
Y, B, B, X. Y, B, B, X, X.
Y, B, B, X, X.
Y,
B,
B, B, X, X,
again.
X.
Damn it. Y, B, B, X, X, X.
Okay.
Look at his face. I'm sorry, my boy.
What's next? Okay, Hanada. Thank God.
How this?
It's very easy.
Yeah, just press the press the
Yeah.
deep in the arrow, or the down, up, left, up.
There we go.
Hey, who's next? Let it be one of the other teachers, please. No! What? Why?
Soji!
Hey,
Soji!
you little shit.
Hold on. Okay, wait, I can pause. What does that say? There is translation on the thing.
See, oh yeah, there is. It looks like
Hikata. Raise. I think?
Ray Hijikata.
I think so.
No, it's not. I think.
No, it is raise.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
Yes. Hijikata agete, that's raise.
Okay.
What's my O button again?
B.
Okay. Serizawa.
Seven. Don't Ray Serizawa.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. Serizawa.
Yeah, it's Don't Ray Serizawa.
Okay. No!
What? That's bullshit. How? What?
Eh.
It did not have that. What?
Or wait.
Soji, you cheating bastard!
It's also Soji. That's not again.
I don't care if that gets old. That's something he deserves right now, the little shit. Alright.
I know I can skip it, but we're not skipping it. We haven't skipped it. We're going.
Yeah.
Ugh, oh, shimatta.
Okay, at the very least. Alright, so. What's his.
For
Yep. Yep.
oh god. Got it. What's next?
Ijikata. Just let it be the teachers, okay? Yeah, just match the
Yep,
B
I'm
button.
itching. Okay.
Bye, poster boy. Yeah, well, your mother was.
Oh god. Okay. 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 Mm.
Yay!
Yeah. Hesuke.
SK!
Hesuke. Alright. B. X.
X.
Y.
A.
Y.
Oh, it is Y. You're
B
right.
X Y. Y. B X Y Y. BXYYB.
And
BXYY.
BXYYB.
A.
BXYYB.
BXYYB. A.
Outside, my boy.
Alright. We're done with 4.
Okay. Now, if we could just have Sonnen and, let's see. Naga. Let's see, we had.
Nagakura.
上手ですね。その調子です。上手ですね。その調子です。上手ですね。その調子です。上手ですね。その調子です。上手ですね。その調子です。
I thought I missed that one.
ありがとうございま
I
す。
thought the same thing too, so.
We did it.
We have to close that until the end of the next route. Save!
Save. Save.
Save!
Despite the obstructions, I left home so early today that there was still some time left until homeroom would start. If I'm right, Kazuma should be there around now. I broke into a sprint towards the stairs to get to the student council room. But at that very moment, a figure blocked my path and I stopped in my tracks when I saw who it was. Saito-san! The look on Saito's face hinted at an internal bitterness that was hard to describe.
あんたがどこに行くつもりか。
I'm not going to ask you where you're going. However,
風紀委員として
it is my duty as part of the disciplinary committee to not let you go any further.
But then I wouldn't be able to give him these chocolates. I squeezed my bag tight. At that moment, 2 people casually wedged themselves between me and Saito.
It's the boys. You two are so loud. What are you causing a huge scene in the hallway for so early in the morning, huh? You're blocking the way. This must be truly difficult for you as well, being dragged into numerous hassles such here.
Shiranui, Amagiri, what are you doing here? These 2 would usually be with Kazuma in the student council room at this time of day. My eyes went wide with surprise at their unexpected appearance.
Doesn't matter. We just happen to be passing by.
女が無意味に困ってんのを黙って見てらんねえから。
Couldn't just stand by and watch a lady get into trouble for nothing, so I stepped in. You always have to be the one who had to deal with Cosma in the past. We have made many unreasonable demands for you, and have been a thorn in your side many times.
お前が誰に
I got no idea who you're trying to get chocolates to. You can do whatever you want.
だが今までの
But for all the bullshit we put you through up until now, we're gonna lend you our strength today. Thanks to you, it seems we may finally be able to graduate. Graduate? Nothing. It's a personal matter.
Thank you so much, Amagiri, Shiranui. I thanked them and then started running for the stairs.
Are you trying to interfere with the work of the disciplinary committee? We're delinquents, man. If you want to beat, you'll have to beat yours truly first if you want to pass.
I kept running, ignoring the voices I heard coming from behind me. And then, while Amagiri and Shiranui kept Saito at bay, I finally made it to the stairs. I was out of breath from sprinting up the stairs. I was anxious. I still couldn't believe that Kazuma was working on an arranged marriage. No, maybe it was that I didn't want to believe it. But this was something that defined my time here in a way, ever since I got into Hakuoki Academy. I believed Kazuma's affection for me was genuine, even from the moment I first enrolled. That was why I took a deep breath outside the student council room. Then I took the plunge and knocked on the door. After a beat, a voice replied from within.
It's open.
I didn't know why, but for some reason, even just hearing his voice made my heart throb in my chest. Kazuma was there in the student council room, reclining on the sofa in the center. The same as he always did. But today, a pronounced exhaustion tinged his expression and demeanor alike. He must have been incredibly busy over the last few days leading up to Valentine's Day today. But when he noticed that I was the one who had entered the student council room...
Chizuru.
Any traces of fatigue he had left was blown away as he quickly stood from the couch and gave me an ecstatic smile.
You're already here? I thought you would come calling after school as a matter of principle.
He stared fixedly at me, nodding to himself in supposed comprehension, even though I hadn't said anything yet.
You could no longer repress your excitement, could you? I am a very lucky man indeed to be thought of so highly by my wife.
I've been extremely nervous to even knock on the door, and yet... Kazuma really was just being his usual self. He was the same as he'd always been, no different to how he was before all this arranged marriage business had come up. I felt a mixture of confusion and relief. Then I remembered the reason I came to the student council room and looked straight back at him. Here, Kazuma. I timidly held out my chocolates. You helped me out a lot during my first year here at Hakuoki Academy, so, I wanted to thank you for that. As I stumbled through my words, Kazuma nimbly plucked the chocolates from my hand.
No need to misrepresent this for what it is, Chizuru. You are finally being honest with yourself, are you not?
By all rights, his response should have made me anxious, and yet... Seeing him act the same as he always did easily resolved all the tensions I'd been feeling. Honestly, I was struck by a feeling of exhaustion, which was an old friend of mine by this point. By the way, I heard from Amagiri and Shiranui that you're taking part in arranged marriage negotiations.
Correct. I have many burdensome obligations at my age. Necessity aside, I need merely participate in negotiations, even if it is nothing more than a formality. However, despite it being a union only in name, the other party is genuinely interested. Things have become even more troublesome.
Kazuma sighed loudly, sounding exhausted.
The whole house was in an uproar about how to courteously refuse without offending them. This time around, it had been especially hard to do so, as the other party is a member of a prestige family that is a fitting match for the Kazuma bloodline. Such things are necessary, not only for the sake of the other family, but also to save face for my relatives, who conducted the ceremony. Thanks to that, the other family has been convinced. It is a huge weight off of my shoulders.
So that was what had happened. The fog that had been clouding my mind dissipated with every word Kazuma uttered. I could feel my features start to relax as my tension left me.
なんだ千鶴
What is it,
まさか
Chizuru?
心配していたのか
Don't tell me you were worried.
I was a little bit.
Oh?
Kazuma looked extremely happy that I had confirmed what he was asking. I was embarrassed, but my emotions were more complicated than just that. What was it that I was worried about? Oblivious to my inner turmoil, Kazuma's smirk only deepened.
そうか
I see.
我が嫁が
My wife has given me.
For some reason, his reflective tone of voice made me feel uncomfortable, and I instinctively shrank in on myself. I would have liked to disappear there and then, if possible. But I had shaken off all the obstacles everyone put in my way with Amagiri and Shiranui's help. I had done so much and come so far so that I could give him these chocolates, so that I could say what I wanted to tell him. Kazuma, I was still very confused, but I had to be brave and put my honest feelings into words. You're always saying how I'm destined to be your bride or something. I don't really understand that sort of thing. But it's certainly true that I started to think of you differently at some point along the way.
ついに自分があるべき定めを受け入れた
It seems that you have finally
それで
accepted
こ
your
そ我が
destiny
嫁だ
to be my wife.
I felt like what I had meant and what he said were a little bit different. Or were they? You're coercive. And you just ramble on without letting others get a word in edgewise. You're bold and unconventional, but you have your kind moments as well. You're incredibly considerate, surprisingly, and you're so knowledgeable.
Oh.
I've always thought it was so mysterious that you say you love me, and that you want to marry me. But you won me over. I think that before I knew it, I found myself charmed by you. Until about halfway through my little speech, Kazuma had been confidently nodding along as I listed his qualities. But now he was listening attentively, with an extraordinarily subdued expression on his face. His eyes wavered slightly as he slowly began to speak.
出会ってすぐに
There's a reason that I chose you as my wife. The moment I laid eyes on you, it's
I took the initiative to ask as Cosmo continued to falter and mumble. Is the reason to do with my bloodline? Cosmo opened his mouth again, looking a little reluctant to say.
It is certainly true that you are a woman with a distinguished lineage in the tea ceremony world.
雪村に結
I heard once long ago, that the Yukimuras had a daughter. But the blood was only the important quality I required in a life partner.
俺は違う手
Would I have not taken a different hand long ago?
A different hand? He gave a nod at the question. I found myself blurting out.
お前と出会う以上
I have had a dozen offers of arranged marriage sent to my house since I first met you.
学園でお前
The
と
reason why I've been so obsessed with you is ever since we met at the academy is
初めて出会ったあの瞬間
that moment when we first met. I was mesmerized by the way you smiled at me.
What? Huh? Don't tell me he meant... It was love at first sight for him.
これが説明しない論理
It's
性
difficult to explain. I am aware that such an emotion is illogical.
故に
That's why I haven't explained I haven't explained myself before now, though you asked me too many times. Uh, what is it? It wasn't because I lacked the confidence to do so, I assure you.
念のためもう一度言って
I'll reiterate once more, just in case. I was not insecure about it by any means.
Okay.
That is. You have never shown any affection for me before, right?
なればこそ
That is why I was hesitant to admit that I fell in love with you at first sight.
Oh. I'd clearly told Cosma about my feelings for him for the very first time today. And so he responded in kind.
Wow.
Cosma had shown his own feelings in turn, in an ever so slightly clumsy way. It made me extremely happy.
おそらくはこれから先も
I fear that even in the future, I will never be able to answer your question with complete accuracy. But
お前でなけれ
it has to be you.
ばお前以外に考
I cannot think of anyone else but you.
えそれだけは
No matter what else may happen,
未来へ
I swear that this feeling alone will never change.
Kazuma. The smile he gave me was a little bashful, a faint trace of relief in his eyes. I hadn't been saying much, but I might have been making him anxious. Catching a glimpse of such a rare emotion from him made my heart skip a beat.
Chizuru, make me a cup of tea.
お前の茶が好き
I like it when you make it.
Sure. I don't mind, but isn't homeroom starting in just a bit?
我が嫁が
My wife prepared chocolate specifically for this very day. When should I eat them, if not now?
I understand. After a moment's hesitation, I nodded. I decided that it was better for those chocolates to be eaten sooner rather than later. I thought that Cosma probably wouldn't let anyone steal them away without a fight. But if the other students caught sight of them, they would riot. I very much wanted to avoid that. Well then, I'll brew some tea. It was nerve-wracking to have someone eat my handmade chocolates in front of me. But at Kazuma's insistence, I began to prepare the tea. I then found myself sitting shoulder to shoulder with Cosma on the student council room's couch.
実に美味だこれは
They are truly
お前の恋
delicious.
心が込められ
I
る
am certain this is because you put your love into them.
He had finished his chocolates, looking incredibly satisfied as he sipped his tea. I was still having trouble getting myself to respond. Cosma continued to speak, a slight flirtatious smile tugging at his lips.
洋酒の効いた
Truffles with a hint of Western liquor. Quite the elegant choices. They suit my tastes.
If you like them, that makes me happy as well. But as he was savoring this relaxing tea break, the bell that signaled the beginning of classes had long since rung, meaning that homeroom was over altogether. Well then, it's about time I returned to my own classroom. Kazuma, you should also...
授業のことなど聞い
Never mind your classes. Today is Valentine's Day, no?
勉学に励むより大切な
Isn't there something we should be doing that is far more than diligently studying?
Valentine's Day isn't a national holiday or anything, though.
I'm telling you to kiss me, you fool.
普段から真面目に授業を
You usually take your classes very seriously, correct?
であればこの祝うべき
And so, even if you slightly delay your return on such a festive day as today, that should not pose any particular problems, I would say.
You think so?
Chizuru, there's nothing to be concerned about. Did I tell you not to worry?
頭の固い土方が
If that thick-headed Hijikata or any of the disciplinary committee members hassle you about it, I will personally silence them.
Depending on how I thought about it, that might not have been so bad. If I went back to class right then, I'd be forced to go through the process of having my backpack searched. With there being no chocolates inside it, I might have been interrogated about who I gave it to. Thinking about it that way, I might have ended up feeling grateful for being allowed to take refuge in the student council room. That was what had come to me then. What? I didn't immediately understand what had happened. Neither have I. I don't know. I'm scared. I realized that what I was seeing was the ceiling of the student council room.
Oh no!
Oh! There.
What?
Where is this going? And Kazuma's face was so close to mine that we were practically touching. Huh? Apparently, I'd suddenly been pushed down on the couch. Kazuma. Buddy. Why?
Buddy. Chizuru.
Hi? A seductive whisper brushed against my ear, and I responded involuntarily.
I am giving you one last chance. I love you. I have fallen utterly for you, in heart and in soul.
Huh?
Do you love me too?
Hi.
So you and I are going to be lovers from today onwards?
Huh? The question was a complete non sequitur, and my heart was so roaring in my chest at our sudden intimacy. My thoughts had stalled completely, and, desperately trying to make sense of things, I answered cautiously. I suppose you could describe it that way. Maybe.
俺の思いに応え
If you have returned my feelings in kind,
を共にする覚悟
that means you are prepared to spend the rest of your life with me, no?
つまり俺たちは将来を誓い合う
I mean, we are committed to one another, yes? There is no difference, is there?
No. I didn't think he was wrong. Because he always called me his wife. And today I had essentially agreed with him.
俺が思うにこれまでは
I think there has been too much distance between us up until now.
Distance?
All things considered.
Wait,
Oh, I see it now. Shut up.
all things considered, I still think this is way too close.
俺とお前には
I think this is an essential opportunity for you and I to get to know each other more deeply. Kazuma, buddy. All the more since we are lovers, or engaged to be married, rather.
Well, you may be right, maybe so, but if we're going to get to know each other, maybe we can have a cup of tea and chat first.
していたではないか今
Were we not doing that just now?
He was right. Kazuma's argument was so spot on that I was at a loss for words.
まだ納得できんようだな。
You still do not sound convinced.
ならばいいかと。
So let me rephrase it.
報われの思いに
I have been drowning in unrequited love, and now I have attained the woman who is so dear to me. Chizuru, my lovely wife. Won't you please heal my body and my heart?
癒してはくれ。
What?
気持ちはすで
You've already made up your mind about how you feel. Be good now.
Kazuma's face slowly approached mine. His thin lips curved into a smile. I closed my eyes without thinking. What was going to happen? All kinds of thoughts went through my head. I felt his sigh brush against my lips, and then, right at that moment,
いやー、疲れた。
Man, I'm beat. I thought he'd be back down sooner than that. Huh?
suddenly the door to the student council room opened.
Da, 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 da.
Nope.
Mhm.
Amagiri and Shiranui had returned, oblivious to what we had been doing. They stared at us while at a complete loss for words.
Oh no.
We were just... I hurriedly pushed myself up from the couch, desperately trying to come up with some excuse. But for some reason, the two of them seemed even more upset than I was. Oh, they know. The boys know.
Oh, they know.
何やってんだよ。
What the hell are you doing? What's the matter with you, man? Read the room, you bastards. How dare you come back here with such poor timing?
早く出ていけ。
Hurry up and leave. Do not disturb me and my wife. Disturb you? Are you...
風間様。
Kazuma, how dare you?
ことを。
Amagiri and Shiranui firmly grabbed a hold of one of Kazuma's arms each. I love you, boys. Thank you.
Thank you, boys.
Please continue to be our protectors.
Yes.
They dragged him away from me.
何をする甘い。
What are you doing, Amagiri? Unhand me!
お許しください。
Please forgive me, Kazuma, but anything you say now will only serve to further disgrace yourself.
何を勝手に誤解している。
Aren't you misunderstanding things? I was just...
そんなこと言う
You gotta explain yourself as plain as day. As if you tried to force yourself onto her, didn't ya? Nonsense. She wasn't forced. It was consensual. Was it though? It's pretty pathetic to make excuses, Kazuma. Yes, what's more, you were caught red-handed. Please show some compunctuation. Some compunction. There we go.
Please, wait a minute. Everything was happening way too fast, and I had trouble getting a word in edgewise. I rushed to stop them. Kazuma hasn't done anything wrong. Why did those words come out of my mouth?
No!
It was true that he had been pretty aggressive, though. The two third-years turned to look at me when they'd heard what I said, their gazes pitying for some reason.
今の状況でこいつをかばうなんて
You're still defending him even now? You're way too soft on him, you know?
風間様は我々が責任を
Kazuma, please rest assured, Kazuma is our responsibility. We will make sure to thoroughly reprimand him.
Amagiri and Shiranui spoke to me in gentle voices to comfort me. Meanwhile, Kazuma let out a low, dangerous laugh.
Now I truly understand how little faith you people have in me.
I have little faith in you.
A little? Yeah, you reap what you sow.
話は向こうで伺いますので。
Now let's talk somewhere else.
天霧、知らぬい。
I'm a Gary Shiranui. I'll remember this, you reprobates.
And then I was left standing there stunned as they dragged Kazuma away from me.
Oh no.
I was left alone in the student council room. I sighed, wondering what I was going to do after all that. What's going to happen from now on? When I turned my thoughts towards the future, I naturally remembered what had happened with Kazuma just moments ago. My chest began to throb like a chain reaction had been set off inside me. I'm going to be his wife someday.
No!
I had only just become his girlfriend today. It didn't even feel real yet, but for some reason, I didn't know why. I felt strangely happy as I let out a small smile. I hope that I'll get to know him even better from now on. I couldn't help but look forward to the future that laid ahead.
No, Jesus. You don't have to do this. I feel like John Todd right there. You don't have to do this. You don't know what you're doing.
But first, I had to chase those three down and clear up this misunderstanding. I was set to do just that as I got up from the sofa.
Epilogue, just the two of us.
How does this end? Oh, how does this
I'm
end?
curious, but at the same time, why? Why do we gotta end this?
Oh, it had been a month since Valentine's Day, and I was in my second year of high school. Wait. Would that be March or April?
It'd be March.
Doesn't Japanese school start in April? Or is it March?
It's been a month since Valentine's Day. That would make it March 14th.
I know. Also, it's White Day. Once I became a second-year student, my school days had gotten more hectic than ever before. Time flew right by. My fourth spring since I'd enrolled arrived, and I graduated from Hakuoki Academy. Alright, we're skipping ahead of way more. Right?
I guess.
I had been accepted into my first choice university on a recommendation, and I would start in April.
Called it.
Since our confessions on Valentine's Day, our relationship had been growing slowly and steadily, and we had started dating in earnest. The more I got to know Kazuma, the more I saw different sides to him. In the beginning, I thought that he was just pushy and unpredictable. But he was a thoughtful person who cared deeply for me, even if he'd never say so himself. That was Kazuma, the man who I had known for 3 years. How did someone as wonderful as him love me the way he did? There were many times when I wondered why he loved me so much. Spending time with Kazuma made me so happy. To me, he was still my senior, but even though he was 2 years above me when I'd enrolled, for some reason he ended up graduating at the same time as me. What?
Bruh, why?
Although he had insisted at first that we attend the same university, he had to take over the family business in the future. In the end, due to his family circumstances, he decided to give up on his university education and concentrate on the art of tea ceremonies. Not to mention, he had apparently already graduated from college once. What?
What?
Ichikata-sensei seemed to know something about that. Anyway, we're just glossing this over. It was March, a few days after our graduation ceremony was held at Hakuoki Academy. It was a sunny spring day, with the sun shining like it was celebrating a new beginning. Hold on. I was in a brand new chapel on a hill overlooking the city. I slowly made my way down the red carpet which led towards the altar. The ceremony was to be performed with only a few relatives in attendance. My father, who had been away working on an outlying island, had come running back for the occasion.
Wait, do we actually get to see him?
I don't know. I put my hand on my father's arm, while he was even more nervous and tense than I was, and we walked a short distance in silence. With the dazzling rainbow-colored lights streaming in through the stained glass windows and onto my back, what awaited me was...
I apologized for the way Chizuru.
the man who would become my life partner. He gently took my hand. We stood in front of the stained glass windows that gleamed in the sunlight and stared at each other.
Oh
My God. There. This actually is happening.
Not gonna lie, this route was better than I expected.
What did you expect, actually?
Well, basically, what nearly happened in the student council room, but much more frequent.
My heart was beating so fast. My breathing was erratic, my thoughts in disarray. But the man who had welcomed me had a faint smile on his face, seeming indifferent to my intention.
Beautiful.
He let out a satisfied sigh.
A spotless snow-white gown does truly suit you, my lovely bride.
His voice was subdued so that none of the attendees could hear what he was saying. The smile that came across in his voice just showed his typical composure. Kazuma,
On that note, though, Chizuru, I have been telling you since last year, I am not your senior anymore. I think it is time that you call me something else. Specifically, you should refer to me by my given name. Surely you wouldn't mind that much.
I told you though, you'll always be Kazuma to me. It felt kind of awkward to suddenly change what I called him.
Are you planning on calling your husband by his last name, even at home? I waited until we were wed.
I felt an inkling of it too. Taking on Kazuma's last name was probably not something I could get used to, even after I got married. But Kazuma... I didn't think that he could make me even more nervous after this long. As the piano played in the background, I softly whispered to him,
Right now.
I look forward to being with you for many years to come, Chikage.
Say it again.
Chikage?
I found new joy again. How wonderful it is to have the woman I love call me by my name.
After he told me that outright, I couldn't help but realize how red my cheeks were getting. The ceremony went on before I could say anything back. Then came the vows. When I was asked if I would pledge my love to him, the answer was nothing but a resounding yes. We were finally able to place our bespoke rings on each other's fingers. After we went through that, Chikage, delivered his vows as directed by the priest, and was to raise the bride's veil over her head. And then...
Now forever hold your peace. I love you, Chizuru.
I softly closed my eyes as I listened to his words. There.
Oh, why did they make me like this?
I don't know! We exchanged our vows through our kiss. The gentle touch of his lips melted all my tension away. Chikage. I would continue to support him as his wife for the rest of our lives. He had supported me and helped me move forward more than anyone else in my life had. That was the kind of person he was to me. He'd given me so much happiness. He'd shown me so much, along with things I had never known before that shocked me. He told me that I didn't have to do anything but to just be by his side, but I didn't think so. His lips left mine very, very slowly, as if the last thing he wanted to do was to have them apart. While his face was so close to mine, I softly whispered so that only he could hear me. I feel like I shouldn't take the happiness you constantly give me for granted, Chikage. So from now on, and in the near future, I promise to make you happier than you've ever been. I swear it.
Chizuru.
He looked a little embarrassed, and let out a smile that I usually don't see him wear at all.
That's another thing I adore about you. I won't ever have enough of it.
We would always be together from now on as well. Just the two of us in our happily ever after.
The end.
The vows we made today would never change. Because Chikage loved me more than anyone else.
And what about me?
And I needed Chikage more than anyone else. On this blessed spring day, we were each other's future and vowed to dedicate ours to one another. Really, so much had happened since I had entered Hakuo Academy. The 3 years of my academy life I spent went by so fast. Even after I had graduated, I found myself wishing I could have stayed there a little longer. Although I was very happy to be graduating, I couldn't deny how much I'd miss it as well. In the days I spent there, the event that had the biggest impact on me was meeting Chikage. Nothing else came close. When I met him for the first time, he asked me to become his wife, which confused and troubled me so much. It was something I'd never forget, and now it made for a good memory. Or I guess it did at least. He had changed a bit, but I could feel that his kindness and his feelings for me were genuine. He was also a man who did right by his family, and whenever I was with him, I could see him at his best in all of his excellence. After graduating from Hakuo Academy, I decided to attend university, but I got married to him at the same time, so I've been busy juggling both schoolwork and the newlywed life. I'd also joined the family, so I lived in Chikage's parents' house, or rather, the Kazuma family mansion. Chikage had told me that I didn't have to bother with doing any of the chores, but they weren't so tough to do. Because of my father's assignment to a remote island, I'd basically been living on my own up until then, after all. Honestly, the Kazuma family had a lot of servants, so maybe I was worrying about them too much. There was still so much I didn't understand about the customs of a prestigious tea ceremony family. I wanted to learn more about them little by little, so I could keep supporting Chikage as well. He recently invited me to join him during some of his tea ceremonies. It made me so happy to have the opportunity to drink tea he had brewed, and it was so enjoyable too. I wanted to keep on living with him. The more days I spent with him, the more that sentiment grew, and it only grew stronger from there. Credit time!
Yeah.
Ugh.
This should not have made me like this path as much as it did. Like,
Yeah,
why?
yeah. I feel that too. It made me like Kazuma better than how I experienced it in Hakuoki proper.
Yeah.
But then again, the version we got of Kazuma's route was spliced up.
My stuff.
Like I said, like the thing, like we had the quiz in this game, right? Where they said Chizuru was holding something in Kazuma's route. And I told you that was stripped from his route into Chizuru's own route. So Kazuma's story was edited, but I am not sure how it was edited. Which is why I wanted to play the original and see how that actually played out. What was kept and what was torn from it. Because I feel like there's a difference. So whatever the difference is, I don't know. But SSL Kazuma, I kind of like better.
Yeah.
Even though there are still several times where I wanted to just slap the fuck out of him. And Chizuru's understandably frustrations, such as the fucking helicopter.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's our secret CG? That's his fucking robe.
Yeah, I've earned a trophy. Yay.
Yay! Oh, Lord.
Alright, who are we gonna do next, I wonder?
Do you have a wheel? I can tell you who's left.
Yeah, give me a second. Wheel of names, okay.
Alright.
We got Sanan,
Yep.
Nagakura,
Yep. Got Kaoru.
Yamazaki,
Well, Yamazaki's last anyway. And we have Ibuki. How many options do we have?
4.
Okay, good. Ah, fuck. Not the intro. No! You know what? Speaking of Ibuki.
Yay!
Speaking of Ibuki, we gotta look at him.
In the shop.
What?
Let's go visit your son in the shop.
Yep. Well, spin the wheel out of 3.
Alright, spinning the wheel for the forward left, technically.
Yeah.
And we are landing on...
Who landed on first?
Kaoru?
Ooh, Kaoru?
Yeah.
Out of 3 spins?
Oh, no, I haven't spun 3 times
Huh.
yet. That was just the first.
Okay. I'll just buy stuff.
Alright, there we go. Number 2! Seriously?
Eh?
Kaoru again.
So, Kaoru's.
Yeah!
Alright.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Oh, this is gonna be fun, but this will be the next time we do SSL, I think.
Now, if only we could have had Iba be in this game as well. That would have been interesting to see.
Lord.
The
Hey.
rivalry between him and Kazuma.
Oh. Yo, wanna spin the wheel again so we figure out what we're doing tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
We gotta spin it twice. I have
Alright.
it. So we have Art. We have Fashion Dreamer. We got SSL. We got OG Hakuoki, and we got Splatoon 3. Let's see what we're doing in the afternoon.
売り上げは悪いが
And
俺の
then-
懐だ
Let's just stare at my son.
じっくりやってく
Alright,
れよ
spinning the wheel.
Ooh, what's it get out of 2? Out of
Best of 2 out of 3.
3. Yep.
There's Fashion Dreamer 1-1.
じっくり選んで
Spinning
くれよ
again. Alright, Art won the second
Okay.
one.
じっくり選んでくれよ
Looks like it's gonna be Fashion Dreamer tomorrow afternoon.
Again? Alright.
Yeah.
Spin it again. Removing Fashion Dreamer. I like deciding with the wheel.
I know, right?
So I don't have to think.
じっくり選んでくれよ
Okay, spinning the wheel for the other 4.
Yep. In case we do have night stream tomorrow.
Right. Round 1 went to SSL.
Mm-hmm.
Round 2. Is
迷ったら
Art.
買わない
Okay.
Round 3.
It's anyone's game.
Alright, well, it's apparently Art for tomorrow night if we do
Oh.
a stream.
売り
Really?
上げは
I know, right?
俺の懐だ
Huh.
Oh, well.
Well, it's Fashion Dreamer and Art. Alright.
Alright.
I'ma prepare a raid.
新しい商品仕入れ
For
Shannon.
who?
Yume Paradox are playing Splatoon 3. Hold on.
Right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
じっくり選んでくれよ
I got it. Let me start the raid.
Yeah.
You were unable to raid Yume Paradox at this time. What?
Why?
I guess I can't raid.
安くしたいが
Is it because it's 1 o'clock in the morning for you?
生活
I don't know. No,
Why?
I don't think that's...
So, anyways, we got what we're doing tomorrow. So,
Yeah. Or Fashion Dreamer, and then,
that's art tomorrow night, potentially.
yep.
So, in the meantime, everybody, please drink water.
Have a good day or night.
Try not to die because you didn't drink water. We will see you tomorrow.
じっくり選んで
Bye-bye.
Okay.